sure that I got the tab open for you and it's muted.
Oh, that's right.
Mute tab.
He actually never went to the bar, remember?
Right.
Right.
This tree.
That's right.
Right.
Grugak.
Hmm. Yep. Hmm.
Bastard.
Yeah, and I might add that the man. I might add this about the blacksmith. The man has two sons. The mayor had told you this, and a wife. And he was always of ill temper, but the way that the mayor described him lately, I believe the word he used was unhinged, unbalanced, mentally unstable. So it's more than just angry. It's there's a craziness in his eyes, a wild eye. As the gnome found out, barely escaped his clutches, as Dwayne was saying. So is Mike is on right now? I don't think he's here.
Got a conflict on Tuesdays.
Okay. Okay. So what we'll do is, yeah, I'll just Well, I'll talk to him later and see what he wants to do with this character. And then we'll figure out how to make it work, or if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And speaking of which, Tuesday's good for all you guys.
Yep.
Now
For
that we're
me, it
all
is.
here. Okay, yeah, it's good. It
What about
works
you,
for
George?
me.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
hope
give
so.
it 100%, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. It just I had to change. I apologize,
Oh
but
no,
it
no, that's
just
okay.
worked better for me on a Tuesday during the weekday than on the weekend, for numerous reasons. Some personal stuff recently as well. Anyways, getting back to the game. So does everybody have the map? I should ask.
Yeah.
Orlane, yes.
Okay, your tokens are actually on the map.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So you can just as a group. Why don't we go back, since we left off with the elves last time? Why don't we go back to Arawak and Garrick?
Okay.
Um, do you need a refresher of what happened when you got there? I actually wrote it in story, but I can read it to you.
I know what happened there.
Um, yeah, I think
Okay.
we
I'll
go
read it
ahead.
to you. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So you guys, you made your way through the grove, and again, this is the sun was going down behind the hills. This is probably right around the same time that the other party made it into the foaming mug, and the sun hadn't quite gone down all the way. And then you come across an old man. You came across a hut in the elm grove. You assume that this is Ramney. This is the hermit that they speak of, but you haven't spoken to him yet. He takes only a cursory glance at you, and there's a creature on his shoulder, and it lets
Mm.
out a small squeak of protest. He looks at you. He gives you a cursory glance, like you're the most least important thing that he's ever seen, and then he turns around and makes his way back
Ah,
inside his home. He doesn't slam the door shut, but you do hear the distinct sound of a latch or boards or something being put up in place across the door. So again, he's toiling away in his garden. He sees the two elves, just gives you kind of a cursory glance, puts the creature down, walks back into the hut, and you hear the sound of either a latch or a board being put up against the door. Let me give you this too.
yeah. So no welcome, Matt.
My kind of
No
guy.
welcome, Matt.
Me and him would get along great.
And I should add, like again, I want to emphasize, he wasn't scowling at you. He just
No,
gave
but
you a look. He just gave you this look, like, you know. And I'm gonna actually post this to.
his
Yeah, at least he
message
didn't
was
throw
clear.
insults at you.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah, he
didn't.
didn't yell at us. He didn't rush us, but his message is clear.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, again, this is what happened in the last game. And let me give you this. This is how his
Garrick, I don't
house.
think he really
That's
cares
right.
about us.
Mhm.
He's not. He didn't seem
Oh
too
yeah.
concerned about you being there. That's exactly what his house looks like. It's very, very small hut, very humble. Let me give you Ramney.
It's like Airwhack and I picked the right place to be compared to the other group.
Yeah,
The
you
Elm
got
Grove is
yeah.
where we want to be, I guess.
An interesting fellow.
There you go.
This is exactly what he looks like too, by the way. Okay. So yeah, right
Hey
around
Spencer,
now.
he looks like an older gentleman. How did he move though? Did he seem to move pretty quick, or did he have? Is there anything about him, like any kind of? Was he lame or anything like that, or did he just
You
kind of?
see no physical disabilities. He
Okay,
moves actually he's quite limber. He was toiling
all
away
right.
in his garden, and he didn't seem to be having any problems kneeling down and getting back up. And the man walks around with you think it's a weasel. It was kind of dim, but you think he had a pet weasel on his shoulder.
Okay.
So yeah, you did not, and those were good questions. You didn't notice anything like that on him,
All right.
about him.
Dude hangs out with weasels, man. He's weird.
Right.
And he gardens. It looks like a turnip garden and some squash, by the way. Either that or gourds, pumpkins, some type of a vegetable like that, right in the
And
front.
so the surrounds look to be left in as natural condition as possible, aside from him sowing some crop areas and having a
Absolutely.
little plot laid in here.
Yeah, this is an ancient elm grove too. I mean, these trees are magnificent.
Yeah.
Magnificent. He's done it at the
Do
least
we
amount
still
of
hear the
groundwork.
chime?
When the wind picks up, which is there's a small breeze tonight. When it picks up, you do hear chimes periodically. Yes, wood
How
chimes.
many
Wood.
different directions?
I would say in two different directions you'd be able to detect. You think one of them is coming from the back of the house, and one of them is coming maybe on a little bit from behind you, a little bit.
Because that's what I'd like to check out is the chimes.
You can follow that.
Not the ones
The,
behind his house, because I'm going to give him his space.
okay, okay,
I don't really want to talk to him, and he surely seems like he doesn't really care to talk to us either. So,
okay. What do you got here that is relevant to searching this thing out? You have like direction sense. What you got? Let's see
what
here.
do I got? I've got
Uh,
I've got skills, my brother.
Yep, I know
I
you got
got
a
big
elf
skill.
ears,
ears.
Any
man.
skill.
Why don't you a direction
Because I'm
sense?
bigger than the normal elf, I've got bigger ears.
Maybe you can try and talk to the weasel.
Well, they're inside the house right now,
Oh,
Right.
but
okay.
you could. But
If he's a
so why don't
woodland creature, I could possibly
Yeah.
communicate.
you could why don't you throw me a direction sense in the tower?
All day, baby. All right, let's see. Want that in the tower. Jerk.
Yeah,
Let me find my
every
tower.
Right behind the map.
Yeah, it kind of almost was.
Yeah.
okay. So it's if you can see on the map, I'm gonna say this is
Okay.
southeast direction,
Yep.
fairly close too. You're gonna it's definitely let's see here the scale. Oh, the scale is right. Yeah, so it's fairly close in that direction.
All right, well, I'd like to, while being observant and alert
Mm-hmm.
for any types of traps or anything of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
tripwires,
Mm-hmm.
snares, anything,
Okay. And then
um,
move.
and just take my time moving towards there. Just keep my head on a swivel.
Okay. You make your way about, I would say, 20 yards south, southeast, and you do breathe almost like
Feet.
perfect. The breeze kicks up right when you're underneath the thing, and it just starts chiming. It's about 10 feet up on the branch, and you can see even before getting up there and like and pulling it down or
I don't
not
want
being
to pull
able
it down.
yeah, not being able to get up, that you can see it's a nicely crafted, ornate wooden pair of chimes. Intricate carvings on the side of them, on each of the I what call those the actual doles that hang down. They're intricately carved. You think leaves. Again, it's dark now, but you can see in the moonlight that these things
How
are
close of a resemblance to the chimes that we saw at the shrine, the altar shrine in the woods where we first encountered
Get
trogs?
a dim force there.
similar workmanship, similar craftsmanship.
Very similar craftsmanship. Okay.
Very similar craftsmanship. Yeah, I would say that.
I don't recall. Did we identify what deity that shrine was set up for?
Obadiah or
Obadiah. That's it.
Obadiah?
And
Obadiah.
Obadiah is a
Like
chaotic evil overlord of destroying forests, right?
No, no.
is it
He's
more of a
being he's
druid type?
he's being a smartass.
Yeah, totally
It's
being a smart
Here,
ass.
let me do a smart ass roll here for a quick.
Let's see if you fail it or succeed. Did he
Do I believe
succeed?
him or not?
And then, guys, let me see one thing. Laura, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
can hear you. I was just
Sorry, I was eating dinner, so
quiet as a
I was
church
mute
mouse.
I was muted most of the time. I didn't want you guys to hear my chewing, so
Okay.
hi everyone.
Hi.
Hey,
Laura,
Good. Thanks.
Garrick,
Sorry, Scoots.
these
So
look
Obit
like the
High.
same ones that we ran into at that shrine to Hope It High.
Yeah, I don't know if did we ever check out the ones in the dim forest, or were they too high? We just heard them
You
and
didn't
maybe
even
saw them.
find you
Okay,
yeah.
all
You
right.
never checked it out.
I thought we
But they
did.
got the same. Well, they got the
Oh, that's
same.
right. I got knocked the fuck out. That's
Yeah,
right.
they got the same tone though. They got the same sound to
Same
them.
tone, yeah. You got a clerical error on my part. I forgot you guys had never located the chimes.
That's what I
Well,
get for getting knocked out.
we can say, yeah. Well, we can say that the sound is so similar.
Yeah,
It
I'm kind
wouldn't
of seeing
be that.
it's something common like that. So sound.
Mhm.
Okay,
Do we
so
know
have I?
anything about the wind chime? Do we know anything about wind chimes? I mean, either where they're located, or what they might mean, or if there's anything about the size of them, or the length, or anything that gives us any clue of why they might be there? Any kind of history,
Other
or
than that, they make a pretty sound in the trees, and
well, I don't know if they're more for a warning usually, or is it
well,
exalting the forest for some reason, or anything like that?
nothing like that off the top of your head, but do know that they are often used to, just to kind of decorate the yard, and
All right.
they're pleasant to listen to. That's pretty much it. There's nothing. I understand what you're asking, but I I wouldn't say that you would know of anything
All right.
But
specific.
it almost seems like they may be guiding us.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
That's kind
I
of what I
mean,
want to ask a question with. So, Arawak spent a considerable time in the dim forest. Had he encountered chimes like that before?
No.
So this is something foreign. Okay.
Yes. Never come across anything like that before.
So I'm gonna
Spencer,
parlay that to Garrick.
did we hear multiple chimes last time, like multiple locations, or just the one?
It's kind of indiscernible. I mean, you just heard them pick up.
Okay.
Chimes are so they're how chimes are. It's hard to tell when there's multiple chimes.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe they're set up in some kind of a pattern or something. But, all right.
Yeah, especially if they're different. Then you might be able to tell, like if one the other was still, but these you just heard wooden wind chimes. Make kind of a hollow sound.
Well, Eric, anything else you want to check here? I'm supposing the other group is got nothing else going on either.
For you guys.
I,
Oh, there's Michael.
I don't know, man. This is just a coincidence. I don't think so.
Let me give you a time.
Well,
I
we
really
might.
don't want to. I don't really feel like dealing with this guy tonight.
No, no, he's seems to be set for the evening.
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean, what was the plans? What were you guys' plans after this?
The plan was to go back and find the. I thought at one point we were going to maybe meet back at the bridge where we split up,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and if we didn't see him there, then I suspect we would probably move towards the foaming mug to see if we
Yeah,
found him.
along the high street. Yeah.
If not, then back to our. If not, yeah, we'll
Well,
just
they
listen
got
for
it
the shouting. We'll see if they're looking in windows. We could probably find them.
right.
Peeping
Look for the
toms.
peeping sound.
That's right.
They and to yeah
Peeping.
to Garrick's
So he's bringing
statement.
along the step stool with him.
You probably heard some of the screaming. Yeah. You definitely would hear it from the bridge. Okay, well, let me know what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think we're going to at least move back to the bridge. We'll
Okay.
gather there and see if we see our group. If not, maybe make it towards the foaming mug.
Okay. I'm gonna unlock your tokens for you.
Okay.
Go ahead and move. There you go.
Oh,
Now,
Eric is fast.
Team B.
How are you so much bigger than me, man?
I have no idea.
It's because of the token that you made. You should get a portrait. It's not that it's
I like
do
my token. I don't want to make a portrait. I put
Okay.
time into this token, doggone it.
The
So you
You're
just don't.
criticizing my artistic talents
No,
here.
no, not at all. Team B, what were you guys thinking? Well, you
Yeah, I
just want
think I
to add
see the
that
deal.
Loman, you screwed
Yeah.
up your rooms quite badly. Like he knocked you on your ass. It was quite a sight to have this wild-eyed man come running at the windowsill. But you are around the blind spot of the house right now. I should have started your token there when you were about right here. There
There.
you go. I'm gonna unlock grid mode too because I hate that. There you go.
So he is running towards Venris and Shadow.
He made his way to the window, was within arm's reach. Loman fell on his ass, was able to get up and tumble away before the man was able to grab him. His two sons are holding him. The guy is literally halfway out the window. His two
What?
sons are holding him back. Yeah, he just went absolutely insane.
So
Went
Venris
out.
would look at Seth Loman and give him kind of a stern look and say, maybe we should go to the door and knock on the door. Well, we came here to deal with them, so that's what we should do. Well,
Yeah.
That is
Loman, it's the middle of the night. You were peeking in his
not the middle
window.
of the night. It's
What
like
do
8
you
p.m.
expect?
guys. Right, and it's
Open
No,
only
through
it's
not
the
only
window.
about 8 p.m. Right? It's should be early evening
Well,
because everybody
okay,
shut their doors
in
for
the
the day.
evening. Okay, it's still night. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Talissa kind of thinks, I mean, it's been a long day. I think maybe we should come back to the blacksmith in the morning.
And talk
I
to
mean,
the sons.
And
Yeah,
I think we should do it now. We can play the
I
good
don't.
guy cop, good cop, bad cop.
Even the sons may be um, on like hyper alert mode. It may be hard for them to be kind and polite and reasonable if they're having to restrain their dad
Well,
or
I mean,
whatever. Like,
if
and he's,
if we explain ourselves, tell them we heard yelling, and we thought they needed
all
help.
right. A minute goes by. The guy is still yelling and screaming.
let's move on to the front, whatever we do, right?
Do
Whatever
we
we do,
hear the shelling and screaming?
let's go to the front.
You think you, with your elven ears, you think you might hear something. You don't quite know what, but
Guys, let's get out to the road. Okay. This is the front door, right? I mean, this is his front door. If you look at the lane, like main road goes this way,
That's
side
right.
road goes this way.
yeah.
Split
you guys
the
were
way
right
in.
here. That's the back
Right,
window that he was at. This is the front door.
right. Yeah. Did you point again to the front door?
Front door.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're at the front.
I just feel like maybe it'd be better to if we knock on the front door now, they're going to know that we're in tandem with the gnome, and if we and they'll be angry if we wait till tomorrow and just the gnome is hiding when we knock on the door. They won't necessarily know that we're as long
Yeah,
as
he
the elf
saw.
and the gnome
Yeah, if
is.
you
Yeah,
guys
he
want to do that, I'm
um,
fine with that.
so you,
saw
yeah,
Orlane as well. Uh,
Farlight is also.
yeah, he did
Yeah,
not see
can't have a
Talissa.
ferryman with you.
He did not see Kober. He did not see Talissa, and he did not see Ben. Is it Ben Ruse or Ben Russ?
And Russ.
Okay, Ben Russ. Very good. Okay, so what are you guys doing? And you mentioned that you wanted to stop at the mayor's, and I can point that out to you if that's where you're going.
Isn't it? Wait, oh, it's right over. Yeah, the mayor's over here. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. All right, you come back in the morning. It doesn't matter who's with us either. We could just talk. Daylight is a different situation maybe than
Hmm.
I see. Yeah, Loman and Farlight are all taken off.
I'll move Kober with you guys. Pardon that I just skipped him over there. So we're stopping at the mayor's, are we? Right? Mm-hmm. Indeed, I think you'll get a more positive reaction from the mayor than you would from the. Okay, so describe what you guys are doing.
Knock on the front door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So knocking on the door, almost instantly, wife, she comes to the door and she looks happy to see you, but there's an eagerness in her eyes. Have you guys already solved what's going on here? That's what she asks you. You want to be speaking with my husband. She's yelled, Zacharias. And he comes down the stairs. He uh, looks like he was taking a nap. He down and he sees you and he bids you in. He goes, "Come on in, let's talk."
And we cross the threshold.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. I don't need. I won't even pull up the other map. We'll just theater of the
Theater
mind
mind.
it.
Yep.
Yep.
That means you guys are getting ambushed.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely getting ambushed now.
Yeah, it's always
Mayor,
fun to run it.
Mayor, we got a complaint. You have some racist people in your town.
Oh shit.
He cocks an eyebrow. He cocks an eyebrow at you, and what? I am not
GLM.
sure. Not sure if I follow what you, Master Dwarf.
Well, speciesist? I don't know. It's, it's. I think he's just upset. He's just looking. He had all kinds of questions. But maybe we should back up a step and talk about the foaming mug first.
Hmm.
We
His
can chill
eyes,
down.
yeah,
Yep.
We encountered three of them.
yeah. His face immediately turns to cottage cheese. And he just the stress. You can see just the stress well up. He just shakes his head. Goes, we are rotting from the inside out.
Yep.
Yeah, but foul creatures hiding in town at night. It's no wonder we have so many problems.
Uh, yeah.
We must keep to the curfew, make sure people batten down their doors and
We
windows.
may have saved the Smith's life, but I don't think he's going to thank us for it. We, since he's right next door to the foaming mud where we discovered the troglodytes, we wanted to stop and tell them they were in danger. Um, but he kind of had a fit. He was being restrained by his two sons, and
Oh, peek through the man's window. Let me tell you something. Heed my advice. The man is unhinged. It's better that you steer clear of him, especially not wanting to peek through his window at night. The guy's
Perverts.
better to stay
really,
clear of the man.
you've heard the
Well,
old saying,
Aren't
right?
you, Mayor?
Beware
Aren't
the
you
gnome.
curious why he's like this? Have you? When's the last time you visited him?
with
With
all the
Black.
strangeness going on in this town, nothing surprises me anymore.
Hmm.
It leaves you to wonder how many other basements have these creatures in them.
I only know one or two other structures in the town with cellars such as these. One of them be the Golden Grain Inn, and I knew the foaming mug had a sub cellar, a fruit cellar, if you will. But that place is boarded up. The kids they treat it like a haunted house, so we had it board and shut it up. How did you get in? I might add. Did you?
Moved a few boards, checked it out.
Hmm.
We did, and there was a thick layer of dust. And the only thing that we noted were there were tracks that we now recognize, like the almost look like a sidewinder snake's tracks, but that's the tails of these things as they're,
Frogs.
yep, dragged through the dust.
And
And
the mayor's had dealing with troglodytes before. He knows full well what type of creature that is, and how did you not like the smell?
gotcha.
And you say that they were held up in a room in the basement.
Shadows seem to like the smell.
You've not been here a day, and you've already gotten yourself into or deep into the heart of this mystery. I think I hired the right people.
Um, should we print up print up posters like a with a troglodyte picture and wanted dead or alive and plaster them around town and see what people say?
This is a good idea. Don't get much help from the constable. The man useless as a tits on a boar.
Yeah.
You'll find questioning people here at night. You're not going to get much out of the people here. Everybody shuts down, locks up their house tight when the sun goes down. You're better off trying tomorrow. I'm sure you could get much more information.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to retire.
The wife
Um,
has a worried look on her face. She did not like the story that you guys had just related to her husband.
Mayor, I do have a question for you. Have you or do you at any time fear for your safety and your wife's?
Well, this old broken down body can still swing a sword pretty good, and I have my trusted bodyguard. I feel sorry for the man or creature that tries to break into this house.
That is good to know,
mm,
Mayor. Thank you. Puts our mind at ease.
yeah.
He looks appreciative. He looks very appreciative at this uh, of help. The You see kind of a tinge of anger in his eyes, like he feels helpless, and you can see that this man might be a badass. He's an old time warrior, and he feels like in a cage a little bit, helpless, and it's
Hmm.
almost like you get this that like he said, you feel sorry for whoever tried.
Is
Mm,
anybody else getting a garbled?
Yeah, Spencer's breaking up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spencer, you're breaking up.
Yeah,
Buddy.
How does this sound?
it sounds a lot better.
that's
better.
good.
Yeah. So is there a town square? I'm looking at the layout, thinking through the layout of Orlane in my mind, and it doesn't look like there's like a definite city center, right? It looks like there's a
That's Yeah, there isn't. The town is
The
just
swimming hole.
yeah, there isn't a town center.
Well,
It's just
Orlane is known for its farming and stuff, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah.
There's no town center there. You find it kind of amusing that the town this small actually had at one point three inns or a tavern and two inns. So
Yeah, that's yeah.
mm, And there's a gigantic temple which you can see from your
Yeah.
location right now, which is the Temple of America. That looks dark and closed up for the night. You can see the wall. You can see that it is walled.
Now, does anybody in the party know anything about about what is it, America?
Yeah, the mayor's
Yeah,
got concerns about him. Doesn't trust him.
Well,
but
do we know anything about the religion?
right.
Yeah, I could give you that right now.
Okay,
Somebody would know that.
And so
John would probably know.
It's a warrior woman. Let me. I knew it. Let me
Warrior woman.
get you here.
is she beautiful? Is it gonna be America?
Like a Valkyrie almost.
Yep. Um, I guess I'm actually thinking like so it's like
Okay.
oh yeah, before we print up a wanted poster, you have to know what's the state of you know do they actually print
Plus,
them?
how are you gonna print it up?
Like,
Exactly.
is it all like it's like we'll get that in 3 weeks? We got to get the woodcutter to carve like a good
Right.
likeness. You know,
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that that might prove difficult in this farming community to get a bunch of printed wanting posters. But as far as America is goes, this is the Iridian demigoddess of agriculture, farming,
Oh,
and home. Her symbol is a basket of grain and a long scroll. You would know this. She's described as a quiet, gray-haired woman of faded beauty, carrying a basket of grain and holding a scroll. Though her image in the temple, or no, I'm not going to read that to you. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to. Yeah, it's not like a spoiler. It's just that I'm going to save that for later.
what alignment are her followers?
yeah.
That's a
She
lawful
mostly
good alignment.
What was that?
mostly humans. Lawful good.
Lawful
Sorry.
good.
Lawful good.
Lawful good. And again, the portfolio is farming, agriculture, and home. The
Okay.
domains are, yeah,
So the typical farmer. Yep.
yeah.
I would imagine like a lot of halflings would be real devotees, right? They given their tendency toward good and agriculture. But is there any tendencies in terms of like like the the species mix, right? Is it like kind of human, halflings, elves alike, right? Um,
You mean as
or
to who would
it all?
worship?
Yeah,
Who would
or
worship that?
the worshiper demographics.
It doesn't. I, it tends to humans. Yeah, precisely. Human farmers. Hmm.
Oh,
So Iridian is the. It's an Iridian god, demigoddess to be precise.
How do you spell it?
Iridian.
America.
America.
Okay, that is Merikka.
Okay. Okay.
I
And back
might
to
add
the
too that you guys have been
Yeah.
running. You've been running for about 13 hours straight, so I'm sure that you're quite exhausted at this point, especially after getting into a fight and all the travel.
yep.
Okay,
Well,
make your way along the road. I'm
yeah,
assuming you're going back the same way you came, which would mean that you run into the two elves.
makes sense. Probably right around the crossroads, right?
Hmm. On the bridge, right here. That's where you guys to wait for you.
Don't let me get 100 yards ahead. There's, yeah.
Do these pins on the map have descriptions? Because I'm just getting the modules.
No, I
It's
have
not.
to create. I have to
Oh,
create
okay.
separate notes for
Okay.
those. Unfortunately.
No
All right.
Now,
problem.
They
some
didn't
of
get any
us.
further.
If you and I would suggest he brings up a good point because really don't have the time to do that for everything because I already had to make all these maps and the line of sight for everything. I would say sketch on a piece of paper You can always ask me and I'll point it right out if you've been there
Okay.
before, or I'll give you a general direction. But if you want like some of the more important locations, I would just sketch it down on a piece of paper. And if I have time, I'll
No,
put down
no problem.
in for some of the more major ones. But I had my hands full with it. It means that I got to double the pins for everything too. I got to create a note for each one of those.
Right.
Okay. Now, some of us are going to be staying at that cottage, correct?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be
I thought,
And- Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Is
oh
that the, is
right.
that the
Awesome. Well,
is
that's
that the
funny.
cottage?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys, you had taken a room. It's a nice, comfortable little cottage right next to the mayor's house on the water.
Yeah.
The rest of the party here was
Hello?
into the slumbering circuit. Yeah,
Absolutely. But it
Yeah,
was the golden grain that they mentioned
yeah,
in
it's
the
Golden Grain, but you never know.
yep.
yeah.
Same contractor.
The
Yeah.
same contractor. I
Common
love it.
theme here.
They're all the
Hmm.
same, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
They have
how
a
Benris
about
locksmith in town and yeah. So
Ben Benris needs his beauty sleep, so he's going to retire
well, we're
early.
not going to be sleeping that long. Come back in a month? No, I don't think
Good,
so.
good one. Good one, George.
I just caught that.
That was a good hit and dig right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Very
well,
subtle. Very subtle.
and we'll tell the other group about all the trouble we had over at the Elm
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Grove. You know, the
mm,
spiders, the scorpions, all kinds of stuff, man. It's just nasty.
okay, got it.
I
How
was
about you
gonna
guys?
ask. Is
What
anyone
happened by you?
preparing notes?
Oh, actually, we just put an old man to bed, so that's about all.
There you go.
Yeah, we just kind of explained the fact that we did find some more of uh those wind chimes, and the old man didn't seem to give us a second thought, but it sounded like he definitely barricaded himself in after he closed the door. So we
He's
decided to
racist.
we walk out of there.
He
He's
hates
racist.
elves.
What he said.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
no, I don't know if that's what it was, but through the experience that some of you
Hey,
have had.
can you
Was
do
he?
this for us, maybe? Could you put the end of the slumbering serpent as a pin where it's supposed to be? That might help us. The image.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
a good
Just drop
that's
the
a
image on there, then we
that's
can
a
see
good
what it is.
workaround. Yeah, I'll
Good
get you.
idea.
Yeah, then it saves you the note, and we just can see well, at least that'll key us and say, "Oh, I'm staying there."
No, that's a great idea. If I have an image for it, I'll do that. That's a great idea. So, make
Yeah.
hmm
And,
yeah. hmm
and then we could pick up like this one and remember, is this the
How's
Yeah.
that
other
work for
Perfect.
you?
right,
Yeah.
Okay,
Excellent.
there you go. Yeah, do that. And a lot of times, like, I'll have images for really important locations, so it works out.
Nice.
Yeah,
did
I'll take care
oh
of the rest
man.
of them later too. All right. You do
It may not
notice
actually
to
work.
your right, just to kind of give you the lay of the land here. You notice that to your east of your position, there's a beautiful water wheel. Looks like the Millers.
Hmm.
We've already seen the blacksmith. We might as well see the miller. I mean, maybe pick our ass.
No, it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have windows too? Let's go take a look
Boy,
inside.
no gnomes peak.
These humans just don't understand, right? They've never heard
Gnomes
the saying,
gnomes
right?
peak. They peak.
Yeah.
It's hard. They're curious. They're curious. So
The way of a gnome to make himself at home,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
they're kind of voyeurs.
Hey Spencer, with all this unrest in the city, are is the miller still like milling, and is the blacksmith still doing his thing, or is commerce kind of stopped or hit or miss in town?
Everybody's still doing. gathered this from the mayor. Everybody's still doing what they need to do to
All right.
survive and keep their business running, but business is definitely suffering. People have
Okay.
left. Less people are coming into town. Um, so yes, they are still performing their daily tasks. And
All right.
all right, so let me. So you guys, you're gonna hit it for them.
Yeah.
Airwalk is going to. Gosh, I don't want to sleep in a building.
You can
You've got
sleep in a
this
cottage. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And I'm going to
On the roof
set
line.
up some tripwire traps, not traps, tripwire alarms around the vicinity of where everybody is in our cottage area here.
Okay. So at the
Though I
front.
don't have to sleep, I'm actually going into a revelry.
Okay, that's good. Why don't you give me there's not really a role for that, is there? Let me see here.
No,
No.
No,
I can notice
you're
something's
you're
going on, but
you're proficient at it anyways. There's no way you're gonna mess that up, especially being a
Yeah, since
hunter of
he's
the
been
woods. No,
born, he's done
so
it.
you handle that with flying colors. And where are you? You're going into reverie. Where in?
on the roof.
Okay, on the roof, just like a weatherman.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna advance the clock here. What time do you guys want to get up?
How early
What
do
time
they
is it
serve
now?
breakfast at the inn where that we're at?
Okay, two questions. One of them, right now, the current time is 7:14 p.m.
Crap,
And
man, it's too early to go to bed.
it's and what time that people serve breakfast and get up, you're gonna probably guess because this is a crack, right at the
4
crack of
a.m.
dawn before crack of the dawn. So sweet spot would probably be in the six to eight
5:36.
range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we get up really early and check out the miller in the morning.
Okay. All right. So I'll just set it to 6 a.m. for you guys.
But isn't it better to interrupt somebody in the middle of their work? You'll get better answers out of them because they're trying to get you to go away.
That's
Interesting.
psychology 101 right there. All right, I'm going to advance the time to 6 a.m. and then give me a second here. Looks like Cobra's light went out, but we'll handle that later. All right, let me
Why
change
do I
the
have a
color.
torch?
I don't know.
On.
That's a good question. You don't really need that, do you, buddy? Okay, so
Why is that effect on me? Must be my inventory.
time of day.
It is, and it's equipped. That's why. Whoa, I thought my monitor was freaking out.
No, no, no. I'm just kidding you. This is early. This is my 6 a.m. look right here.
Before you shave or after?
Before. Absolutely before. Okay, so let's see here. Close this down. Delete that. Lock. I think what I might do is drop a party token down, unless you guys plan to split up. And I mean, what's your plan for today? You gonna move as a team, or or do you want to use the party token? Either way is fine with me.
Use the party token. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Get you this on here really quick.
Should we go back to the blacksmith to explain? And like now that it's in the light of morning, right? I think we could talk to the sons, like kind of assuming that dad is essentially mentally ill.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean that's a reasonable way of putting
Mhm.
it. Yeah. Okay, who can control the party token? Can all of you control it? Okay, great. All right, so move where you want, and I will stop you. Actually, I'm gonna put the lock on it right now. Okay. You
I'll
meet up
follow
on the
Loman.
bridge in the morning. I mean, I guess that's your guys' rendezvous point is the bridge. That's hence why I put the party token there. Don't want to make assumptions. Um, so yeah, just describe to me what you're doing, where you're going, and we'll take it from there. Pretty much every. I just want to add that pretty much everything is explorable on this map. So
Yeah, there's so many places to go. Like, where do we start?
I will
We
point
have
out.
the
I will.
deputy.
Right. As you move in on the buildings, I will describe what they are and what you're seeing, and also I will tell you exactly where the buildings that or the businesses and buildings that the mayor pointed out. I will tell you exactly where those are when you come within proximity. For the buildings that you don't know of, I will describe what you're seeing as you approach. And I have token lock on, so just go ahead and move it in the direction that you want.
Just maybe we just pick somebody to be the mover, and we'll
Okay,
just follow wherever they want to move.
Yeah,
that sounds
it's
good.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the party makes their way up the high street. It's a beautiful morning. It's not. It's perfect weather. It's a nice fall morning here. Notice the golden grain. You don't hear any noise coming from there, but there is some horses tethered up outside right around here.
Okay.
There's 3 or 4 horses, but you don't hear any sound in there. It doesn't sound very lively. Lively. To your left, I mean, there's a smell. You definitely recognize this as a dairy farm, and you see a bunch of cattle out in front, right here. In fact,
Oh, I'm like, I thought I spotted cattle in the back field. It's us.
yeah, you guys are definitely cattle. So this house and barn are clean, whitewashed wooden buildings. This appears to be the dairy farm. As you approach, a baby cow peeks her head from between a fence and smiles at you. Several other cows chew their cud just outside the barn. All of them look well cared for and happy. These are milk cows. 3 little girls playing in the front yard of the house stop and gawk at you. 3 little girls are playing some game in the mud, and they gawk at you as you approach. And here, let me give you this. This is what you see when you come around the corner,
Duh.
Yeah.
Dinner.
smiling
Oh,
at
oh,
you. And the parents
Oh,
smiling
Whoops.
at you.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a good sign, right? I mean, the mayor said that when the people return and they've got the vacant stare of the poltified, they don't take care of their animals. So these people should be colt free.
So you notice
yeah,
three
right.
little girls. Uh,
good observation.
yeah, 3 little girls right in the front.
Yeah. Oh, cattle abductions here.
Well, Talissa says, "Good morning. What game are you playing, girls?"
They look kind of shy, and like one of them giggles, and one the other two kind of turn really red and are saying nothing. Who are you?
It's like we're professional adjudicators. Perfect.
So first of all, Farlight says what now?
We're professional adjudicators. It's going to play right into what Loman did.
You talk funny.
That's right. That's because I am funny. So see my ears? Yeah.
And then Loman, and what did you do, Loman? Can you give me uh, not maybe acrobatic? Do you have acrobatics or just tumbling? Oh, can you give me that in the tower? I love this game. Oh yeah. So the gnome, per perfect 10 of 10 execution, gold medalist right here. Somersault. The girls, all 3 of them, jump up in the air and start clapping. But when they do this, As soon as they start making all that noise, you see a woman. You're assuming it's the mom. She comes running out of the house. Like you see the door swing up, and she comes running down to her daughters, and you see that there's actually two other little girls on the porch with her, and she comes running back and running past them towards her girls, and then swoops up the littlest one in her hand and turns to make her way back into the house and come girls come like that.
Weirdos in town.
She kind of she stops kind of like all almost skids out in the mud a little bit and looks kind of embarrassed. And yeah, she turns slowly. Her face is, you can see the blood just rise up in her face. She's extremely embarrassed. Uh, the way that you could tell that she's just embarrassed by the way she was a bit overprotective. And she goes, the mayor, he's a good sort. And what does your business with the mayor?
That's strange.
So right on the, just as if on cue, right when you say this, the door opens again and you see a burly but kind looking man. He comes walking out and he makes his way. He doesn't run, he makes his way down to you at a normal pace. How can I help you, fine sirs?
Fine, sirs.
Okay.
Hmm.
Carry on, Loman.
My name's Orwell. As you can see, I run this here dairy farm. This is my wife and my girls. I'm blessed with 5 of them. And he looks proud of this. Thank you, thank you. We love our animals here. We take good care of them in our lane. At least some of us do. So you've hmm? So you've spoken with Zacharias already. A good man. A good man, Zacharias. A good man. He was a warrior in his own time. Ah, times is strange in Orlane, indeed. Times is strange. Dark things are afoot, if you ask me. That hermit Ramney's behind everything. He knows something. He lives just outside of town in an old elm grove. Strange old duck, that man. Some say he was once a powerful adventurer. Mayhaps a sorcerer. He sticks mostly to himself out there in that grove.
What kind of a venturer?
Ah, you're asking the wrong person, sir.
How long have you known him?
Well, Romney's been here for all, say, he looks at his wife, 10 years. 10 years.
What
The
brought him here?
woman has a mind like a steel trap.
What brought him here?
You're asking the wrong. I do not know why
Have you ever
or
talked
where.
to him?
He kind of chuckles to this and he says, "Don't know many in Orlane who have talked to him."
No, we're wasting our time with you.
He
And
looks
turn and
taken.
walk away.
Wow.
He
Next.
looks really taken aback, and the wife, she says something. How
Farlane.
rude.
Farlane will say, "Oh, don't mind Arawak. He spends a lot of time in the woods." And,
I
not well
apparently
versed
he left his manners in the woods.
there.
Apparently
Indeed, he right.
he
What are
left
manners?
he left his manners in the woods. Yeah, she looks really she she's carrying one of her daughters and the other 4 are all now all up huddled all around her the bottom of her dress. They're all huddled around. One of them's kind of tugging on her dress and saying, "Mom, mom," bugging her. And she looks upset, but she doesn't look mad at everybody else. But she's definitely eyeballing the.
We realize now that Airwalk looks like a fucking savage.
Yes, he does. She, yeah. Hold on one second, guys. I need to
his
find
his
some mirror.
picture looks like what he would look like.
Oh yeah. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
I'm thinking we may need to buy some extra milk for the slumbering serpent. Um, Now that they have to make more food than they have of late, so maybe we should buy some milk while we're here. And
I'm kind of curious to just know what he meant by some people take care of the animals here.
right. Well, see, the mayor was saying earlier is that if people come back and they're changed, they neglect their farms and animals. Even the
Yep.
livestock suffer.
Oh.
So, so uh,
Clue.
So
yeah,
I take it he's never been abducted then.
So, as
right.
a nicety in Orlane, as you guys are talking, the wife looks at Norwell, her husband. His name is Norwell Graven, when he
Norwell.
introduced himself. So he's like, I would invite you in for tea and cheese if you would like some.
Sure. Um,
Okay,
you know,
Ah,
okay. So you
so
guys come inside and he serves you
Nip of cheese.
and it's wonderful cheese and
Mm.
he also has
this is
milk and
oh, what a
tea.
fine bouquet and excellent texture this cheese has.
Those
So, I imagine all the inns here about. Do you supply them all?
we do, but we don't like dealing with the golden grain as of late.
Why is that? They seem to have a lot of passersby, probably more so than the slumbering serpent.
They
Um,
haven't even requested an order from us in quite some time.
is that so? Yeah. Well, if with
hmm.
such fine cheeses,
Mm.
that indeed is a mystery.
She looks
Huh.
very pleased with the compliments. We take pride.
Yeah. 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 Excellent. Yeah.
Norwell can give you a good price on that. We could look it up for you.
I'll go in on
200
you
gold.
for a wheel.
That'd be hilarious.
That's why nobody's buying it.
Yeah, I would say for a wheel of cheese, give me a 25 copper.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
Go ahead. Just put a
was it
negative in your copper. Okay. Well, she looks really happy with that, and she goes, "This wait right here," and she walks off into another room. Back comes back, and it's a beautiful wheel of cheese, and it hands it over to you guys.
nice? And
Their house is really well kept, by the way, too. It's a very nice house. You can tell their animals are, like I was saying, their animals are well fed. You can tell they're very loved. They have a cat, big fat cat, sitting on a bookshelf. Well, first of all, when you
good
mentioned
segue.
troglodytes,
Yeah.
she gets surprised by this and taken aback. What? Where did you encounter those foul creatures? Uh, sh- grabs Norwell, her husband, and says, "Oh, Norwell, what are we going to do, my love?" And he goes, "There, lass. It will be okay. It'll be okay." And he pats her on the shoulder and goes, he kind of pulls you to the side and says, "Please save this town. Just good people here. We need the help. If there's anything that I find out, or anything at all, where can I reach you?"
Hmm.
With the mayor.
He just nods, and I will do so.
Yeah. Yeah. And or our host at the Slumbering Serpent, so they can make us omelets with some of this
Hmm.
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you
Do you
the
ever
Orlane
so
icon.
do you right, do you ever trade with the blacksmith? Um, to
Okay,
try
so
to
the
bring it back.
blacksmith. All
Yeah.
right, so you brought up the blacksmith. That was the second question.
Yeah.
She looked surprised that you even had the goal to go up and try to talk to the guy, and she goes, "What business would you have with that lunatic?"
We wanted to warn him. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Aye, it makes sense in a sensible world, but things aren't so sensible here. The man never was sensible, but something happened. Something changed within the last year. His mind is just gone. And Norval looks at his wife and says, he's a lunatic, crazy as a shithouse rat, if you ask me."
Is he still working? Like, is he still blacksmithing? I don't, that's a word.
Yeah. Smithing.
If
Yeah.
we
The
needed
man's still
something
smithing,
from
and
him,
we see him doing business with certain people, but his temperament is so volatile that we just avoid him at all times. But I'm sure he's got to feed his family. He's got those two sons helping him as well. I forget their names.
He's,
if we were to place an order with the blacksmith, he would talk to us then, right?
I assume so.
I do need a short sword desperately. This long sword is
Mhm.
very fine, but
When you say
there may.
that, she goes,
Yeah.
"Well, you could always, for the steel and weapons and other general sundries, you could try the village store."
Uh,
I'm not one to spread too much gossip, but they're a strange lot. Strange lot, that family.
very good.
So,
Well, you turn when you come out the house, you're going to turn and follow the road east, and you'll come across it 3 or 4 buildings down. I'll pin it for you right here. Let me give you something.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I'd like to know more about who does have the temerity to trade with the crazy blacksmith. You mentioned that is selling his goods to
Farmers
someone.
need wagon wheels prepared. People need arms and equipment. I see his bellows running. He must be doing business with somebody, but we have
Okay,
no business with that man.
okay.
Well, Benners pipes up and says he's in need of maybe some chainmail. Maybe we can put an order for that.
I do know because I visit the village store probably once every 2 weeks, and I do know that they do carry arms and weapons there.
Boy, he's really trying to keep y'all away from the blacksmith.
I don't understand why everybody's afraid of the blacksmith.
Maybe because he's a psychopath.
Well, then you be a psychopath back to him.
Oh no, I don't know why they're afraid either. You guys will have to find out.
Yeah.
But they weren't always afraid of him. He was just not afraid of him, right? That's been more recent.
The impression that you get is that he was always unreasonable.
Oh,
He was
well,
just kind of
yeah.
always an asshole,
But it's
but
gotten worse.
recently, yeah, he's much more volatile.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few words for him.
Now he mentioned there's other folks in town that don't take care of their animals. Does he know of any families that
Oh, good call.
have gone from taking good care of their farms to maybe letting them go?
Yeah. Let me give you an example here.
That might be a lead too to follow up on.
We should also ask, since he sells to the Golden. No, he does not. They have not put in an order at the Golden Grain. That's right. Yeah.
Have you had any dealings with the temple?
Where do you want to go next?
You're saying awfully quiet.
Let me go check and see what's up.
So where do y'all want to go next? We've got the. You want to hear the answer?
Somebody's got some information that we could use.
Yeah.
Did you say the store is on the way? Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's bizarre, man. It just stopped working. Yeah, I heard everything you guys said. I was explaining to you that there's a farm. They do speak of a farm, a vineyard, in the north end of town near the temple, where they say that the farmer and his family have completely just let their farm go to shit. He also speaks of another one here in town near the foaming mud inn. Say that there's a family over there. And then, of course, in some of the outlining farms, the farmers that don't live directly in Orlane, but some of the outlining farms, just people that they have known or like well or known in passing, or have just let things go on their farm.
Hmm.
So, and then what was the other question? I'm sorry.
If he's had any dealings with the temple.
They haven't had any. This family in particular has had no dealings with the temple.
Okay.
All right.
so yeah, like yeah, so Lowen's suggesting one of these places nearby. I didn't quite catch it. Is it this? Is that the general store? Yeah.
That is that. Yeah, that looks like a bigger shop or building, some type.
It's at a crossroads. Yeah, it makes sense. We could, yeah, that kind of going that way if you want to.
You notice that it's right next to your the cottage that you guys are staying at.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah.
So an hour has gone by since you spent getting visiting the dairy farm and speaking with Norwell and his wife, and you get they're a really tight, close family. When you left his house and passed by the Golden Grain down the high street, you noticed two other buildings. They don't have one of them had a sign in front of it. Let me show you. So this one that you passed right here, you noticed a sign, and you're assuming this is the jeweler of the town. It's
Okay.
a gem encrusted ring is pictured on a sign outside this establishment. The door and windows are open. The building is small but looks extremely sturdy. The shutters and doors are of heavy wood reinforced with iron bars.
Yeah.
this one that you passed by, there was a sign of a spinning wheel in a loom. Several bales of wool are stacked on the wide porch. No people are visible. You haven't entered it yet, so you can
Wait,
disregard the
which
next step.
which building is the one with the spinning wheel? That's different
This
than the
one,
jeweler, right?
Ah,
Okay,
jeweler's
okay.
here.
got it.
Yep, Weaver here.
Weaver.
I don't think I have an image. Actually, I might, but I don't want to give. Actually, I can give you that. Why not? Because it's a weave. It's a weaver, image of a weaver. There you go.
There's a hidden message in this image that he's sending
Some
us.
of them I can't do. Yeah, it's some of them I can't. So, and then let's see if I had one for the jeweler. I don't think I did for this one. No.
Hey Spencer, when we were talking to the mayor,
Hmm.
didn't he mention something about an elderly lady that lived alone?
Yes,
Right there.
Merrill.
I think that's someplace we should go to.
Hmm. Yep, Vilma.
Yep.
Okay.
She's one of the
Shaggy
There's
lady.
oldest, richest farmers in town. She was married.
Right.
He mentioned that her husband had passed away and she had moved away from the farm into
Right.
a beautiful cottage across, and it's directly across from the
From the
mayor's.
mayor's. Okay.
Yeah, directly. They can see each other from their porch. And another thing too, guys, in the shared drive, one thing I've been doing to help you guys out and me helps me as well is I created a NPC reference doc. Uh,
Mm.
and inside that, you'll see that I have all the major NPCs that you guys have encountered listed,
Okay.
and also minor NPCs. Please, you can help me greatly. If during the game when you guys run into people and you want to make note of it, just drop it in there in that bullet list. So again, the document is NPC references.
Okay.
I listed Zacharias, Traver, Belba, Olwen, Frank, Traver, Grover Ruskadil, which is the constable that you guys heard of.
Oh, it's in it.
Right.
We haven't passed him, have we? I know he's around here too somewhere, right? The constable is supposed to
Directly
be.
Yeah, so I should have read this to you since you guys are technically passing this too. Uh, you
Like
do
one of these.
pass you pass a nondescript wooden building that has heavy shuttered closed over the windows. The doors look stout but stand open. No people are visible. And then the sign on this is a sign of a fist, uh, kind of like clenched fists together. You assume this is the constable's quarter,
Yeah.
Where is it, Spencer? Here
right here.
with the
Yep.
black arrow.
Hmm.
Behind this building is another long, low structure. Interesting. Well,
Yep.
that would
You
be.
got
You want to
the
stop and do you guys have a taste for talking to the constable yet? I mean, yeah,
Probably get some good information from him.
yeah. I can ask him. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. I'm fine
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that. Give me one
Sounds good.
second, guys. I'm gonna run mute guys for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Give me like 2 minutes.
Just out of curiosity, who has the highest charisma in our party?
I have 15
Okay.
charisma.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe Talissa needs to be a
Be talking more.
speaker, or
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, Melissa's used to hanging out in the woods by herself, so
Yeah.
she's she's not as
Starlight looks.
talkative, but when she talks, she is charismatic, I guess.
There we go. Yeah. Starlight looks good until he opens his mouth, and then he usually will say the wrong thing.
Well, mine just scares people away. But sometimes that could be good.
It's 3. Weird.
Actually, I got to step away for a few minutes. Be right back.
We're getting
Okay,
down
guys,
on the
I'm
map.
back. Ready when you guys are. I heard Roger just stepped away for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And Scott may or may not be back yet. I think he stepped away too.
Okay.
Good.
Fine.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to. I like taking the little tiny breaks, you know, getting drinks and stuff.
All right. Well,
I worked out like really crazy today, so I'm like a little bit. I like overdid it, you know, so I'm like a little bit tired. Did like just overdoing it. I'm not 23 anymore, you know. It's just can't do that anymore.
yeah, I hear you.
23.
Yeah, so in resources, pinned at the very top, yeah, everything's pinned there, and you'll be able to go it.
Fallen. Oh, that's
Hey, Scoot's back.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo. Okay,
yep.
so we decided, yeah, and again, you know, it's I might just take the time to get these pinned. It's the main map, so we'll see. The image thing works, but no, I don't have images for everything, and as you guys pass it, I'd like to be able to unlock it, you know, if investigate what it is. If you give it a second glance, I won't necessarily unlock it on the map. Okay, so let me adjust the time here just a little bit.
Share,
10 minutes.
share drive.
I like this music on here.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
NPC reference. Got it. There's the NPC reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. The shared drive's great because, like I was saying, we don't have to have the table up. We don't have to have Fantasy Grounds up to play. I mean, literally, if I snapped everybody or I screenshotted everybody's character sheets so that we could actually do roles outside of just do it in Discord. It's fun. Okay, village store. So I'm taking it, or what are you guys doing? So you guys have arrived in front of the village store. Just describe to me what are you just all going in together? What's happening here?
I mean, yeah.
Going shopping?
I need to pick up a
Yeah.
new sword.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take a look around.
Okay. So this is a
I don't.
well-kept establishment. You notice a wide array of farm implements and cooking utensils. Pretty much looks like your ordinary general store. They're well stocked. The door stands open and there's a well painted sign depicting a pot, a plow, a sack, and a lantern. You see a middle aged man and a woman behind the counter located at the other end of the room. To right of them, you see a curtain, possibly leading to some storage room in the back. You can't tell. It's just in the back of the room, there's a curtain, goes somewhere. They're both friendly and welcoming and say, "Hey, howdy, come on in, come on in."
Airwalk's gonna walk up to the old man.
Not old,
Not old.
no. They're both middle-aged, probably in their early 40s, husband and wife.
Airwalk from Grim Forest, tell me about the hermit.
The guy he looks at his wife and goes, "What? What i- what is your friend asking me?"
Um,
The
I think
Maybe
hermit.
you can
not quite sure, but
maybe you can show us some of your wares here at your
yeah,
shop first
Well,
I
and
first of
recently
all,
walked.
before we get off on business, the name's Jedediah.
Uh,
Hermit. Hermit. You're not speaking of old Romney, are you?
Yes.
Oh. And what
What
was
about
your
him?
question about him?
What do you know of him?
I know that he comes in here probably once a month and buys supplies, and that's about it.
What kind of supplies?
Oh, he buys little bits for the pot, some foodstuffs, rations, maybe some oil for his light. Simple things, simple amenities.
That's all.
That is all, sir. Pardon, are you new deputy for the constable? He looks at his wife when you say that. He gives her. It's a quick look, but you catch it.
I'm
You
just
catch it.
staring, like just cold face stare. Just like my focus is just right at him,
So the woman,
uncomfortably.
yeah. So Jedediah, he looked at you in the eye, and he doesn't look away. He's just kind of staring at you. And the wife kind of she puts her arm on her husband's shoulder and says, "Hey, how about we go over here and organize those shelves that we were talking about doing earlier?" Jedediah.
hmm.
Okay, here, let me pull this up for you.
I don't want to look behind the curtain.
Oh boy. Okay. You're
That's
just gonna like you're gonna make yourself at home. Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. Let me pull this up for you really quick.
Yeah. Do they have?
Okay. In shops, open up shops in your records, and you'll see general store, Orlane general store, and you can literally use that right there and add it to your cart and buy it and everything. So feel free, you guys. I will say that you notice that the prices are exorbitant. I mean, in some cases, it seems like they're charging 2, 3 times more than what something's worth. You
Where's this
notice
at?
this immediately. Go to records, or what are you using the sidebar or are you using the menu, the drop-down menu?
Sidebar.
Okay, on the sidebar, you're gonna want to find shops.
Shops.
Yeah, under
It'll be
Correct.
campaign.
under campaign.
Man, yeah, this place. This is expensive. Um,
Under campaign.
You
Okay,
see,
got it.
yeah,
Orlane General Store.
You see
All
that
right.
little arrow to the left? You can just click on that, add it to cart,
Oh,
and
oh,
buy it.
okay.
And then when you buy it, it's gonna actually subtract your the currency. It'll do all the math for you too. So if there's like fractions, involved, and something is, it's great.
So I hear them talking about price gouging and not really understanding what they're talking about.
price gouging.
Yeah, you think they're talking about gouging somebody's eyeballs out or
They're
something?
like confused as to this
Hmm.
price gouging thing they speak of,
Yeah, what is that? That makes sense.
and the reliance upon a store to get things that you need in.
Hmm. So when you guys
And I am going to look behind the curtain.
okay, So when you guys are, I'm assuming everybody else is, you guys are just like going through their wares and looking at what they have and kind and just shopping, not like
Yes.
searching around. Okay, so Arawak, you start making your way to the back of the room. You
Mhm.
get about, I would say, within 3 feet of the curtain, and you notice a shadow under the curtain, um, and you just get a bad scent.
Mm.
So yeah, your spidey sense is going off.
All right.
Does anyone notice his reaction?
No, you guys are just
We're all
again.
milling
That's why I
around.
was asking. Are you guys browsing through the
Hmm.
rare wares?
Yeah, I'm like clinking at their 3 long swords. They don't have a
As I
short
feel
sword.
that sense, I'm just gonna play it off,
Hmm.
kind of make it look like I'm just looking around, and then nonchalantly turn and kind of work my way towards Garrett slowly.
Hmm.
And in Elvish, I am going to
Go ahead and. Oh, I don't have my languages.
I'm
They're
going
not.
to let him know something's amiss here.
Okay.
Hushed Elvish at that.
Ah, I'll see if I can understand his dialect. Kind of a woodsy tone to it.
Very hollow. Hmm.
Ah, I don't understand that for some reason.
Well, our languages aren't.
Well, I've got Elvish in common, but it says Elvish.
That was Sylvan.
Ah, so I
I,
And
replied
then
to
I'll be
him.
like,
I
I don't
replied,
have.
blah, 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 blah.
"Ah,
I would be able to understand it. So, unfortunately, my languages are not on this character sheet. There they
you
are.
speak Sylvan?
Okay. It's there. Yeah, but they're not showing up in the drop down. So,
Well, that's
uh,
interesting.
I'll tell you why. Okay.
Never heard of that happening before. Maybe if you add and re-add, or
Um,
remove and re-add them.
it's like I should see some
Ah,
others as well. So hold up, because
so
yeah.
Eric, here's Arawak, and he kind of raises an eyebrow. I kind of do a side eye towards the curtain area. Kind of maybe give a little listen. Do I pick up any vibe or sense?
No, you can see a shadow, at least one, maybe two people, like
I know what to do.
behind the curtain.
I need to
Hmm.
add it. There'll be some kind of language thing I can add it from, like a
So I
record.
kind of give Arawak kind of that little shoulder shrug, like I'm not quite sure what the issue is, but I'll stay alert. So I'm going to position myself where I can turn and kind of face towards the curtain,
Hmm.
but keep my head down, maybe looking at some items still.
Okay. What's everybody else? You just carrying on, just everybody shopping right now, still shopping.
I
Okay.
just can't
Um,
believe they're charging for herbs when I could just gather them myself.
Yeah.
um, am I in earshot at all? To okay, okay.
Did you
Tables.
finish?
I wonder if I can find languages on a table and then add it from there,
You
like by
just should
dragging
have
the.
to be able to just pen it in on
Yeah.
your skills
Yeah, well,
page,
I've tried it. I mean, tried it twice. I've
one on
also,
each line.
yeah,
Elvish?
I've got
Elfish?
Elvish and Elfish both.
No,
Neither was
just
showed up.
ELVISH.
Yeah.
It's
Here.
there. it's there, and it does not add. It doesn't add. Yeah.
Elvish. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, if you go to your campaign options and click on languages, you'll see what's supported, and Elvish is in there.
All right, let me see here.
Because you can add languages here too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
another
can.
thing that's kind of off is that usually the Elvish looks like pretty lettering and it's just like numbers and letters
Yes.
showing up in the chat box. That doesn't seem normal.
Pretty lettering. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pop.
Almost like a
going to-
coder coded it. Oh, never mind.
I'm going to re-add myself as you suggested back from the
Yeah, see, that worked. It says GM Elvish testing this.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay.
But would
Yeah,
you guys see that number, that letters and stuff for folks that don't have Elvish?
It just
Right
Close
now.
your character sheet out and reopen your character sheet.
I just did that. It didn't change anything. I
Oh.
closed and reopened. Yeah, unless you have to log all the way out. Like
No, I just meant just the character sheet. Usually, sometimes the
Wouldn't
thing
see
doesn't
Resets it.
update until you like new line or it closes and then reopens.
I wouldn't. You know what's crazy to me is how big that update today was. I thought this was just another hot fix.
This is a
That
big
was like
update, wasn't it?
major update. Yeah, like, and I was like, oh boy.
It was a lot of different game systems that got
Yeah.
Right.
tabbed.
Touched a
Still,
lot.
though, it was like so much. Like, yeah, I don't know. I do know that Mad Nomad stuff got broke, so let me take a look at one thing right here, guys.
That shouldn't have anything to do with
Core
because Mad
RPG.
Nomad's only for the only one that I
No.
have that works in Mad Nomad is the module UI.
Yeah,
Do you have other ones that work in?
yeah, I have that one. That one's
This
broke.
TUI?
Oh, that's why the module activation looks different.
The module activation is broke.
Yeah, I keep getting a script execution error opening up the module thing,
Yeah.
but it looks like it functions. No, it functions the same.
It's broken. You have to like filter it and kind of kick it in the guts a little bit.
Oh, I don't have any modules loaded. It showed when I first loaded it.
Yeah,
I had to go to unloaded and then go back to loaded, and then I see
exactly.
my modules.
You can see the ones that are in there. Yeah, it's broke. It's as of today, some of the core RPG stuff, and I'm wondering if that's what's wrong with languages.
Could be.
But anyways, we can just go with it, and we'll figure it out later. But
Yeah.
I'll just whisper Farlight when I speak in Elvish.
Yeah,
Totally. Okay.
yeah. Right. Yeah. So, all right. So you whisper to Farlight and Garrick, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Nothing's happening. I mean, how long are you gonna wait here? You're just gonna wait?
Okay. Yeah. So they just went in the back. So the wife, I came back. I mean, honestly, I had to help my cat get down the hallway. So I missed Jedediah's speech before his wife said, "Hey, we gotta go."
He got all like weird with me.
Well, you were staring him in the face, and his defense.
Said,
Like,
Tell me about the
Hey,
hermit. Oh,
That's how we communicate.
Right.
Okay.
right.
That's his
I
problem.
forgot that.
But his wife was like trying to pull him aside, like he was going to try and start some shit with me.
He definitely got that vibe. Yeah. You didn't miss that for sure.
Okay.
He didn't like being stared at like that for sure.
Well, he needs to get out more.
he needs to sleep in a tree at night. See what it's
He
like.
needs to relax. He needs to relax.
He needs to relax.
Like in his store, like grilling him. Why is everybody else, dude, blacksmith? peeking through his window at night. Oh, you know,
Right.
just mad
That wasn't
dogging.
me.
I'm just
That
mad
wasn't
dogging.
me.
Yeah, right. Why's your
Guys are
CPI so
crazy.
high?
I love this game. This is such a good game, man. Only in this game.
Got
Never
this.
know what's gonna happen.
Well,
All right.
Or I
I'm
could,
not.
you know,
Yeah.
we could just confront the.
Balls in your court.
So
Well,
let me just. So they're
I'm
both
just gonna
out
start
with us,
walking
right?
back towards the screened area,
Okay.
and I'm going to.
Well, as you get
I'm
closer,
I'm
I'll be
gonna I'm
ready.
gonna. My right hand is prepared to draw my short sword.
So you get within about 3 feet of that. He's Jedediah. He's watching you, and he's no. That's employees only.
And
Where are you
I don't
going?
understand. I don't understand his common tongue.
He sees that you not understand. You don't understand. You understand common.
I didn't. I'm not saying that.
Are
I'm
you
just
talking sign
continuing
language,
to
though?
move in my way.
Chop,
He
he's
run.
shop talk.
It's you get now. You're like right in front of it, and three. You're assuming these is family members. Three family members pop out. They look
Three
like
what?
boys. Three family members, sons.
Oh,
Three of them.
family members. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
You're breaking
pop
up.
out. They got crossbows pointed at your head, and they're like, "Where you think you're?"
Whoa.
To use the restroom.
There's no restroom back here. I think you need to turn around and go the other way, Elf.
Like Pod says Farlight to Arawak, right?
Like, excuse me.
Your people relieve themselves inside a building? You gotta use the outhouse. Are you
That
not
was comic
civilized?
relief.
You know, like
How much? How much is this frying pan, by the way?
Oh, dude. Well, the girl or the Maud actually turns to
"Hey,
you
is
when
that
you say
cast
that,
iron?"
and she looks kind of she's a little bit flustered now. Yeah, she's like, well, it is what the sticker says on it.
Arawak, come take a look at this frying pan. What do you think? Give him an opportunity to segue away from the back.
The dad looks at the boys and he's just like, they're like speaking with their eyes. You got the
And what do I
crossbows.
sense from those speak of that that from their eyes? Because I'm
You
focused.
you sense that they're pissed off. That's what you sense. That this is they're feeling kind of a little bit invaded right now. I mean, this is their store, and it's like, and they don't want you going back in there. The
Oh, they're
dad, you
hiding.
also
They're
feel
hiding
that
something.
the
They're
dad,
hiding something.
the dad definitely has sway over his boys. I mean, they listen to their pa.
I'd say we leave it for now. I
These
mean,
are heavy crossbows too, by the way.
So, how big are
And
these
they
boys?
big corn-fed farm boys, like 6 foot,
over.
6'1", like Bubba's.
You're not gonna let that scare you, are you, Eric?
Whoa!
No,
I just got jumped.
no, because I'm 6 foot. I think I'm 6 foot tall.
These are big, big
I just got
corn,
kicked
big
out.
meat and potatoes.
No shirts, but overalls. Right.
So are these
Vendors,
I'm
crossbows
not
on
6 foot.
sale this week? Is that what you guys are doing?
vendors looks at Loman and says, "I think we're gonna get a show here."
Oh my god, dude. Well, let's put that to the test right here. Let's see the crossbows. What do we got here? Are they even selling the crossbows at
They
this
are.
point?
Maybe it's a
It's
special
on the
this week. They're
shopping
just
report.
showing us.
I'm loving the comedy here. A heavy crossbow,
Wow.
150 GP. That's only about triple the price.
Oh, I'm coming back in. For some reason, it threw me out.
Oh, it's all right, man. think they're having. You watch tomorrow
You know what?
morning. We're gonna be lit up red with updates, and
Yeah.
everything's gonna be fixed. When I saw that big update, I was like, oh boy, right
Oh,
before
so
a game.
Yeah.
All right,
how's
back.
the,
I say,
how is the
what's with the
crossbow?
hostility?
Private. That's all he says. Just private room. Stores up here. There's no business for you back there.
I'm gonna
I
turn.
whisper to Loman and say, maybe you can peek through the window when we get outside.
Actually, you should
Win
be
Maybe
peeking through the
do it
window right
now.
fucking now.
might create
Yeah.
a proficiency for Loman just for that, like window voyeur. Like, and we might have to. What do you think,
Idea.
Scoot? Like, we can create a proficiency for that. Voyeur,
Voyeur.
voyeur.
Fenris,
Oh,
whi-
is
Fenris
woman here right
whispers,
now?
Well,
whispers to Lowen, see if you can sneak past them. They got their attention
Right. Yeah,
elsewhere.
Yeah.
they're totally focused on us right now.
I'm looking
And
at
I
the old
think,
man and I'm like,
all right.
nothing back there.
Uh-oh, we
we're
got him
wondering,
interested.
okay, now that you're here, yeah. So like we were wondering if you wanted to use this opportune moment to slip around and peek in the windows while they're focused on us up front and we're menacing them up here, right?
No tools in the back.
I'm sorry. Were you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the old man
Mm-hmm.
or the guy.
Jedediah.
Middle
Yeah.
aged.
Jedediah. I'm looking at Jedediah and I'm like,
Yeah.
Jedediah, tools in the back.
No tools back there. No, nothing for you to be had back there. Stores up front. I tried to warn you. My
Well,
sons, they're a little bit protective, but we have our own personal belongings back there. That's where we kept our money, and
For sale?
no, not for sale.
would you happen to have any short swords in stock? I see only these 3 long swords here. I was really hoping to find a
Well,
short.
let me see what I can find here. And he reaches under the table. Let me get that for you. I think I got 1 or 2 of those. Let's see.
Do I need to pull the shop up again?
No,
Can I do that?
I'll get it for you. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, I got the shop up in case it shows up there.
Yeah, just
Um,
give me a minute to add it.
okay.
It wasn't in there, correct? Should have
Right,
been
I
in there.
saw long swords, but no short swords.
Okay, I'll
Um,
get it for you. There we go. That. This.
there you go. Yeah. Yep.
You slipped out. Okay. Just add it. Here we go. Okay. Forgot you had to unlock this thing to add it. Short sword. That was definitely no. You have to build these manually, so it was an oversight on my part not to add it. A short
I'm gonna read.
sword. Hold on. Short sword. Short sword. Give me a second here.
Meanwhile, as you're trying to add it into the inventory, I mean, um, it's like, is it quality? Is it a used blade? Is this like the gun he keeps under the counter?
Decent
Like
quality. Decent
what's that?
quality. It's
Decent
decent
quality.
quality. Yeah, it's decent
Okay,
quality.
so
It's not.
average,
It's
an
not.
average quality.
It's just average. Yeah. It's not. It's nothing special. It's not some ornate blade, but the workmanship is or the craftsmanship is decent. Okay.
Okay.
So, but that's definitely not what it costs.
Does it have a tag on it? Okay, good.
Yeah. Just give me a second here.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe if the rest of us can ask, um, to look at some of the inventory, have
Oh,
the
there we go.
sons
Okay,
show
I
us
got it.
things.
All right, it's done. Sorry, I'm
Then
one track minded. So go ahead and grab that Farlight. What now? Uh,
Um,
if
so yeah,
if we can get like kind of get the shopkeepers to like start showing us wares and things in their inventory cases, maybe then
I wanted to ask exactly. I mean, this is why I wanted to ask him some questions about the short shot. I was just waiting for him to go and add it, but okay, that's exactly. You know, yes, I have the same in mind. I say, hey, so I see you pulled this from behind the counter. Is this uh, you have a need to protect the store? I suppose, right? This looks like a fine blade to protect your store.
this
Uh,
blade I've had for a few years. Frank made this for me.
is that the blacksmith?
I.
Yep. And yeah. So have you had to use it
He's
before?
still, by the way, he's still a little bit perturbed by Arawak, like what just happened. You can tell, like the tensions, but they're starting to
What's
Is the
this
subside a
not
crossbow
little.
still pointed at my head?
like?
They
You
have
know,
lowered. No, they've lowered the. I should say they've lowered the crossbows, but they're just blocking the entrance to the back.
Mm.
You're not proceeding forward, are you?
Not yet.
Okay.
um. So as I'm examining the blade and I'm handling it, like
Yeah.
I notice or pretend to notice, right? If there is any flaws, I'll definitely point to a real flaw, or if not, I'll pretend to note that that the tang seems kind of loose in the handle, right? And
Yeah.
say
Yeah. I get
yeah,
it. Yeah.
Is this a used blade?
The
You know,
most
is there?
fascinating short sword ever.
Yep.
Uh, well, like I said, I've had it in the family. I've had it at the shop actually
Yeah.
for a few years now. It's
How long
nothing
ago did
remarkable.
Frank? Yeah, how long ago did Frank make this blade for you? I mean,
Oh,
looks like it's seen
good
some
grief.
wear here,
Uh,
right here along this.
you're like small talking him, and he's just like, I can't recall, and he's just looking over at Arawak. The tension
Yep.
is still high in the room. He's trying
Okay.
to answer your questions, but he's not. You can tell he's not
Is
very
there, is there
interested
a
in your small talk.
is there a tag on it? Like, is there literally like a price tag or not? Because there may
There's
not
no
be.
price tag on this. No.
So, what are you asking for this blade?
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Who's sneaking around back? Where are you at?
He's he's busy around the back, right? Making time.
I
Like
could give it away to you for 30 GP.
30
Give it away.
gold pieces. Oh my God! I could get 5 such blades, all new
Aye,
like
aye.
that in
He
the
doesn't. He's like aye.
yeah. So and you got this from Frank. How much did Frank charge you for this?
Yeah, but you ain't gonna find a store anywhere near here.
Well, I got time. Maybe I can work a deal with Frank. And
Ah, you do that, sir. You do that. His wife kind of smirks. His
it's
wife
like, well,
smirks.
and if not, I'm sure to find out. Uh, I've got my trusty blade here, right? I just need this for cleaning fish and smaller work.
Loman,
So,
give me a. Okay,
yeah, there
let's
you
see
go.
here.
Thanks.
Let's just just give me a I'm gonna give you the better of the two. So just give me a hide and shadows. It's more both, but we're just gonna use one of them for this.
Right about this time, Spencer, Fenris and well, Shadow wasn't inside, but Fenris walks out in front and stands with Shadow in the front,
Okay,
waiting for everybody to leave.
sounds good. Okay, so
I'll go
Loman,
out
you
and
make
wait for you.
okay. So Farlight, you go out. Airwalk, you just standing there. You're not budging. Just standing where the three farm boys staring, mad dogging you. They have not taken their eyes off you at all. And Jedediah barely has either. The woman, the wife, Maud looks nervous, but Jedediah, he's just staring in your direction. Even when Farlight was talking to him, he was trying to small talk him. He wasn't really. You could tell his attention was 95% in your direction. So what you doing?
I'm listening for noises from behind the farm boys, from behind that area.
Okay, you don't hear anything presently. Loman, you make it to the back of the. You had to you crept around the far side. This would be the south side of this structure. You do notice that there's two windows back here, and from the general layout of the store, that you're gonna guess that the closest to your position, right, is the one that kind of lines up with the room that it was behind the curtain. And there's some boxes in the back. You can step up onto the box because the window's too high for you to see. The window's too high for you to see, but you can get up onto the box if you'd like and peek through the window. Okay, all right, so let's see. So I've already had you do that. That's good.
Make sure
Okay,
there's no
so
twigs on the box.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you peek through the window and you do see the room. Indeed, you see the curtain thrown open and you see three shadowy hawks. The sun is kind of kind of reflecting off the glass, so you kind of have to put your little gnomish face up against the glass to see through. But you do see the three hulking shapes. Can't see Arawak because they're standing right in front of him. They're completely blocking him from getting back here. And as far as in the room, it just looks like almost like a closet. It's that small. Maybe it was a fit room or something, but it's a very small room. You don't see anything else of note in there when you peek your head up through there. But they're not turning. They apparently haven't noticed you.
Oh, I've got
And
their full attention.
yeah, you've got their full. It's exactly. Yeah, but like I was saying, you don't see anything else. It's odd that they would be all huddled back in this, which again looks like a changing room or a fitting room. It's that small, you know. No, it's just a shop. In fact, the L shape of the shop is the almost the entirety is one gigantic room, except for this small little. I would call it almost a closet, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where you'll run into Benrus,
Yep.
Starlight.
Oh.
Okay. Is anybody else shopping? Arawak.
I'm waiting to hear when the little friend of ours comes back in.
I'm gonna when I see Loman, come up on the porch. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Hey,
I'm gonna
Garrett's
ask
still inside too.
Loman,
Just
do you got any
looking
more of
around.
that chewing tobacco that you had? Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. So,
He's rolling
To
along.
set the scene
Yeah.
a little bit more here, so these three corn-fed gigantic farm boys right here, one of them is kind of grinning. I mean, he looks like he's got an itchy trigger finger. The other two look more obedient to their dad. This is, I noticed this.
Picking up.
I don't know why it breaks up.
Hello?
Oh,
yeah.
Now you're completely gone.
You don't think it's? Do you know? I heard you saying hello.
Nobody, can you guys hear me?
Again
Yeah.
now.
you're breaking
Yeah.
up every other word sometimes.
You don't think it's Sirenscape? It should be. That's on our end.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Now you're breaking up.
Yeah. See, yeah. Now you're coming from like Venus.
Are you on a wireless headset? Your battery's charged?
Yeah, they're fully
Is your
charged.
computer plugged into the wall?
Yes. my
Your lights on?
computer's-
Is your water running?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Never mind.
Hanging
You have your eyes open?
refrigerator running.
A quick checklist.
And you
Yeah,
better
I
go
don't
catch
know.
it.
I don't know why. Oh God, I hate that joke. I don't know
That
why it would be doing that, dude.
now you're fine. I don't know. Every once in a while,
I'm
I
not
I
Yeah, now
thought
changing.
it
you're good.
was
Yeah, I'm not changing anything. I'm literally just. So where
So I
was
I
I?
I did turn Sirenscape off, and you are not breaking up anymore.
Well, I don't see how that would have
Yeah,
any
he's not breaking up
concern.
for me either. But so where you were last, as you said, the one of them has got a grin and looks like he's got an itchy finger, and then you were about to describe what
That's
the other
right.
two are doing,
The other
and
two, this is Airwhack. You get this impression that they're more obedient to their father, and the one looks a little bit kind of like a wild card.
okay, and so I hear Loman
Roman.
outside,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna look at him and be like, "No tools."
No tools back here. Now, if you want to buy something from the store, which is up front, have your pick. And then and Maud is her name. She goes, Errol, Todd. How are the weapons?
Voice of
And
reason.
when she says that, the husband kind of looks at her like annoyed, but
I'm gonna turn then and just shrug my shoulders, put the hands up in the air, like
I can see it.
dumbfounded, like that they don't have tools back there, and just walk out.
so when you walk out, the Jedediah is like, y'all have a nice day now.
yeah. Talissa walks out too.
Yeah, when you guys again in the three boys, they're still just standing there, and the one you think it's Errol is the one's name, the big one. He's still got that sickening grin on his face. Like I think he was. It almost looks like he was just hoping he would
Perfect.
ventilate somebody's.
Oh,
It's kind of twisted, yeah.
There
Who's
you
Errol
go.
and who are the other two boys?
Two.
Arrow,
Who's
Yeah.
Errol?
I
Mo.
can give you the name. Yeah. So it's Earl, which is
Oh,
U.
Earl.
Errol, which is Erroll, and
Oh,
Todd.
and Todd.
Hmm.
Oh, Todd's the bastard son, huh?
Yeah, and then Maud is the wife.
Maud. Right.
Hmm. Like as in Harold and Maud and Jedediah, and their last name is Sawyer,
Like Tom Sawyer? Yeah.
like Texas
Monday.
Chainsaw Massacre Sawyer. Like that's where I got it from.
Oh, there you go.
The Sawyers. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Oh,
Well,
if it
that
weren't
was a
for the
close call.
time,
We either missed out on getting hurt or information or both. Yeah. That's cool.
we didn't miss out on anything. Actually,
Yeah.
we just uncovered something.
No.
Yeah.
Why are they protecting that room? Do they have
Because
their
that
life
room is
savings
not
there?
what it appears to be.
What if they have a basement? Right.
Mm,
Could be.
I thought there we saw a shadow when behind the curtain when we first went in there.
Must have been the three boys, I
Yeah.
think.
And why are the three boys huddled up in such a small room with crossbows
Loaded.
at the ready to instantly step out from behind the curtain?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
vexing, isn't it, guys? You guys got a lot to think about, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a midnight run. Fucking kill
Yeah.
these people in their beds.
Not.
Dude, they're 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 cursed. They're cultists.
Something. Yeah,
Well, there's a
but
curtain
they could
Nobody
opening.
just
gets
be. I mean,
that
they could be
mad.
nice. They could be nice shopkeepers, and that you guys just kind of barreled in and maybe got off
Did
on
it?
the. You got off on the wrong foot. Yeah, that could be it.
Never,
Hey,
never.
Loman, how
Well,
big was how big was the window you peeked through?
I have an idea. Let's make sure Talissa's the first to speak in Arawak. You know, like
Yeah.
the last.
All right. And as far
Right.
then,
Are you
Roger.
guys going to have an intervention on our Airwalk?
Well, hold
I,
on.
Be
Let
like,
me
I,
hey,
tr-
tone it down a little bit, guy.
let
I
me
tried to say we should at least look at the inventory and talk to them before we.
let me
Airwalk's like, this
But
is
You did,
taking too
yeah.
long.
You
I
know,
want to get out of this city.
what
Let's finish
Ro-
this job.
Roger,
we got?
what were you asking?
I was asking Loman how big the window was that he peeked through.
Okay.
Is it large enough for people to squeeze through?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And
The
how big
window
was
is
the
it's a
window next to it?
the window they were both the same size and it's just a standard window, so what that would be like how many probably like 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Okay.
So
Bowman.
you're thinking a little B&E by night.
I'm thinking, yeah,
Bowman, how many
Yeah.
windows back there?
2.
There you go.
Did you look in both? What was in the other one? Oh,
So 25 minutes have gone by. You would guess yes. Yeah.
okay. So we would have saw that window
Hmm.
inside the shop.
Yeah. There was one. There was at least 2 windows inside the shop, and it would make sense that that's one of them because it's during the L shape.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, there's no way I'm paying 30 gold piece for a used short sword. And the guy, as much as said, well, if you think you can do better, go try the blacksmith Frank yourself. So why don't we
Yeah.
go see if he'll make us a short sword?
What is this gouge you guys wanted to do?
That's what they were doing to us, right? When they charge too much money, that we consider it uh, almost like a personal injury. So we call it that they're gouging us.
Well, guys, I think we're getting along fine with the town.
Oh yeah, we're making all kinds of positive.
Well,
It's not.
we have to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, Airwhack is banned from the shop, and Loman is banned from the blacksmith. Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah,
I
but
think
the
so.
dairy, but you guys are just going to hotspots maybe because I mean you met the dairy farmer and that family was
Yeah.
lovely. You guys
was
have
great.
passed a couple other things
Oh, yeah.
too, but you just need to ask me when you walk by.
Okay, what's
Main
the
shop
next
is in there.
shadiest place that we could go look at?
So there's the constable,
Constable.
there's
There's
the
an old
weaver,
lady.
there's the jeweler. So we got the
Right.
okay. In order to get to the old lady, probably the fastest route would be up street past the slumbering serpent.
Oh my God.
And
Oh,
then
Anything
follow
along the
the
way?
along
Well,
the
we have
way you're
the
going.
Like
Yeah,
optimize our travel?
Wait, wouldn't it be
Yeah.
faster to go this way? We go across this bridge and go up this way.
We don't see your
right
marker.
here.
I think that's a little longer, but either way,
Oh,
somebody was asking. Okay, so going down in this direction, the first thing that you're going to pass
This constable.
Wait,
is
which
the
direction? West?
this direction, west. Yes.
Okay.
So going west, the first thing that you're going to pass is the jeweler. You're assuming it's a jeweler from the sign out front and the heavily barred windows. Correct that right there. The second thing that you passed was a shop where it had here, let me pull it up for you.
It's the
Melissa
spinning wheel.
Jeweler shop?
Loom, yeah.
Yep,
The Weaver
Weaver.
here.
And the third thing that you passed, you are assuming this is the constable's quarter. Not just because
Ah.
of the sign out front, but because the mayor had mentioned that it was right next to the Golden Grain Inn. And that is right here.
Okay.
Do we, if we talk to the constable, we should consider this ourselves. We're talking to our enemies, whoever they are, right? If we think he's probably bad, if he's corrupt. then, because it, especially being right next to the Golden Grain Inn, it's like it's almost like we're saving that for last or something. I don't know. Yeah, because it's the yeah,
So,
yeah.
quick, Spencer.
Yep.
While we're walking to the next place, I'm going to reflect upon that interaction
Mm-hmm.
and put together a story in my mind about how he reacted when I was speaking of the hermit to him, and see if I can gain an insight into his reaction
Okay.
as a hindsight.
Okay. So this is an elvish ability, correct?
Nope.
Just
Just how
RP.
you reflect upon an interaction after the interaction happens to
Mm-hmm.
try and understand it better.
What
Okay.
did he
Why don't you
say?
give me a Why don't you give me a wisdom in the tower?
Sure.
Because you can talk it out. I may have missed that section.
Okay.
Oh, I love when the DM gets to make my conclusions based on my dice roll.
Well, you you don't sense anything nefarious about that, and maybe some misdirection. Maybe there's a little bit of misdirection there, but you don't sense that there's too much to glean from that,
Okay.
from the self-reflection. But yeah, maybe yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that.
So
Good
the
enough.
mayor and the farmers, both of them agree that they think that the hermit is behind this, right?
I
Yeah,
don't think the hermit's behind it.
yeah. So yeah, as a little bit of a recap here, and this is also in the let me pull this up. We'll get your token moved, and then we'll do a little recap here. So Zacharias, to answer your query, Zacharias, he's convinced that the storekeeper, which would in this case would be the entire family that works there, right? We're talking
Right.
about Maud, Jedediah, and her three sons, the smith, the carpenter, and the clerics of
Right.
Mirica are all members of a secret order.
Okay.
But he also believes that the old hermit is behind the whole thing. He believes that the hermit is literally the source of what's going on behind here. Yeah.
So 10 years.
10 years. Never
10
harmed
years
the
he's
soul.
been here.
Hmm.
Did we ask him why he thought that?
We have not talked to him.
Oh, I think you meant the mayor.
N- No, the mayor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, his rationale for it.
Yeah.
The sense that you got was that because he just sticks to himself and he's an outsider and that he never talks to anybody and he's strange and there's rumors abound of him having a past as a sorcerer.
So
He
because he's an unknown. Okay.
correct.
Yeah, so he's either misunderstood or
Yeah.
he's a leader that we should have
Yeah.
to determine.
Correct.
We could go talk to him.
Arawak says
Yeah.
I can go talk to hermit by
Yeah.
myself if
Just
Garrick
stay
hands
on.
Garrick hands Airwick a list of top 10 opening lines for when he wants. So I ask you to roll a d10 and just pick one of them. So
Hey, maybe we should make a table. That would actually be
right,
kind of fun.
top
We should
10.
make a table for that.
That's
A
right.
roll table.
here's
All
a
right,
top
so
10 of how to interact with civilized people.
yeah,
Right.
don't say fuck you when you meet them immediately. Don't
Let's
trust
start
Don't
them.
accusing them.
don't mad dog them like
Don't mad
immediately.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, guys.
Body language.
What exactly are you doing? Who are you going to see?
Guess
Well,
they're
it sounds
gonna
like
go
the
see the
hermit
hermit.
might be the next one. But let's have a little
You're
plan though of how you want to
Well,
approach this.
I mean, the hermit, maybe maybe one or two of us could just go up to the hermit
Mhm.
first. I
Airwalk
mean,
wants to go.
he no.
Well, some of us could hang, even if we just hung back 50 feet, you know, and
I think
Well, if anybody
Yeah,
goes to the hermit, I think one of them should be Talissa.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hermit
Talissa's a
myself,
druid.
Yeah.
so I understand hermit lifestyle and that they would not appreciate like a whole group of people just showing up at
So
their
maybe 2
doorstep.
max you're recommending?
This
Yeah.
guy worships forest gods too.
Just don't have a window. It's got a bucket list. That's right.
So from
But then
the
you go
similarity
back.
to
Do we want to split the party up?
to
Well,
You-
we'll head that way, but I think the 2 should approach.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do
I'm-
that.
Yeah,
So,
Alright.
let's
wow,
do
that's excruciatingly slow. It's like actually walking on the map. I like that. That's kind of cool. I actually like that. So, yeah, we can do that. So, who's going up? Who's staying behind?
There you go.
Yeah.
Your 2 friendliest and most charismatic.
Yes.
Well, I could go too with my dog.
You could.
That might
Does he like
that might
weasels?
put some brownie points in there.
So,
Yeah.
Or the weasel may
True.
chase the dog.
This is true. I'm just
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I'm reviewing something really quick, guys.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
so
what are we doing?
Talissa,
Yeah,
Airwalk is going to pull you aside for a second.
Is that
yes,
sarcasm?
Airwax.
We heard chimes by a wood deity shrine similar to chimes around his place.
Okay.
You might be best
Well.
to speak to him.
Well,
He
Okay,
had
I
no
agree.
time for us.
Well, after seeing what happened in the store back there, I can kind of surmise what happened in your interaction.
We
With
no
him,
talk
so-
to him.
Oh, okay. That's probably a good thing.
He blew us
Um,
off, uninterested as we were uninterested in him.
Correct.
Well, okay. Well, we don't know. He might treat us the same way, but I'm gonna go up
He
ahead
might
and
treat
give it
you
a shot.
different.
I'll
You
certainly
go do that.
try. Loman, are you gonna accompany me? Okay.
no, we'll hang back and we'll sing Kumbaya to be like non-threatening, off in the distance. Right?
The
We'll just
Farlight's
kind of
singing
walk-
voice is
Airwalk doesn't know that song, but he can sing a song of decapitating the enemies who approach the camp too close.
Go. And Farlight, your
Um,
voice is beautiful. It carries through the elm trees and the god rays coming through the trees. It just makes for a beautiful scene
Decapitate the enemy.
as everybody's
Ooh,
walking
oh.
by.
Much too close. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, it
Singing.
really sets the mood as the human and the gnome walk side by side down this beautiful trail of elms. And again, you
Okay.
reach the clearing and the ramshackle hut, and you don't see anyone out in the yard right now. And all is quiet. There's no breeze. You don't hear any wind chimes. Just quiet, peaceful glade. Advance the time a little bit here. I'm guessing it's almost about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. All right, well, we're walking slowly towards the hut, and Talissa is taking a deep breath and calming herself, soaking in the nature vibes. Do we see or hear anything coming from the hut?
No, all is dark. Windows are dark. You don't see anyone in the yard or in the nearby vicinity, and you do not hear anything coming from the hut.
Let's
Oh
knock
God.
on the door this time.
Oh man, I knew what we should have done, but it's now too late. We should have brought some milk from the farmer, so we could just come out. You
Oh,
got
that's
cheese?
right. You have cheese
Ah,
as an
there you
offering.
go.
Yes,
I'm-
friendly
So
offering.
yeah, so exactly, and I am going to create a voyeur proficiency specifically for learners. So let me
Right?
somebody actually throw that in Discord so I don't forget it because that is just too funny not to make. Here, 1 second. I'm definitely gonna do that. Let's see here.
Too funny.
Oh, is this the image that you guys were seeing with the? Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's like that looks like what's that look like to you, Mike? That almost looks like base.
It's just it's just
Looks like
what
ashes.
do you call it? Like
It looks like base
alphanumeric.
60. Yeah, it's like it looks like base 64 encoding almost.
Yeah, yeah, with all the
That's
caps and small
yeah.
case
They broke
and
something. Yeah,
numbers.
it'll be
Oh,
fixed tomorrow. That's how
are you
major
looking at
problem.
the
Yeah, I'm looking at
Elvish
the thing. Yeah,
language?
and then
Yeah.
I see that Ned Voyeur proficiency. Thank you very much, buddy. Because that's we got to handle those important things. Okay, so you guys are moving up. Sorry, my cat is like walking all over me right now. I gotta put her in the other room. She's like, just give me 1 second. She's been doing this for like 30 minutes. It's like,
Give her some kibble.
Cat
Trying to
milk.
mess with you. Like we're walking up slowly to the hut. I'm like creeping up slowly on the hut.
Oota goota.
But yeah,
Oh, different hut.
Wonder if there's any mushrooms in these woods that I can gather
or if there's any
as an
holidays,
offering.
yeah, it'd be. It's got to be a holiday on somebody's calendar. You could like for the offering.
Mm-hmm.
It's Harvest Day. Happy Harvest Day.
Yeah.
Keeping Town Festival.
Peeping Tom Festival.
Yeah,
guys, I'm back.
it's
Thank
window
you.
dawn. Yeah.
We're here.
Okay, good. Okay, so Talissa, you are creeping up to the house.
We're walking peacefully towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
St. Thomas, the Peepus.
Creeping was the wrong choice of words, so I know you guys don't want to be
I'm,
doing
you know,
any
I'm,
more
I'm
of that.
messing with it. There's yeah. I know Talissa's intent is to be non-threatening. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just messing with it, like, oh, I can make that threatening. Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way up to the door, and are you knocking on the door?
Yeah, just softly knock on the door.
Okay, you rap on the door. You don't hear anything. Uh, Try again. A minute later, and still no one has come to the door, and then the door slowly opens after about a minute. Inside, you see a bearded man. He looks old, but he doesn't look frail. Um, he yeah. So he opens the door and he sees you, but he doesn't say anything. He just stares at you. And then he looks down. He stares at you in the eyes, but then he has to look down to catch the eyes of the gnome. And he basically the weasel the weasel that he had comes up to the door and squeaks at you, and it looks like he's just about to shut the door in your face at this point once he sees you.
Okay.
Oh
Um,
shit.
I say, oh, what a darling weasel you have and a beautiful home you have here.
So he goes to shut the door, but and when you start talking, it looks like he turns his head from you, and that stops him. For how long it's going to stop him, no one can tell, but that does stop him from just shutting the door in your face. And when Loman reaches down to feed his animal, you see a ghost of a smile cross his face. And
Nice.
then you had asked what now?
Um, so, what a beautiful garden you have. Do you tend that yourself?
I. What is your business with Romney?
We were just passing through and saw this beautiful clearing and were drawn to your house. Just curious about your way of life and if you can tell us about yourself.
Why are you in Orlane, young pretty one?
Be
Well,
honest.
Didn't just go
I
there.
what?
Hey, give me the
Really?
roll. Oh, you can speak. So you just ask him what now if he's seen any troglodytes. It squeaks at you, yes. Yeah. Well, with animal, if I'm remembering this correctly, like with animals, they only understand like rudimentary, like basic. So like you're
Hmm.
asking it a more advanced question then.
Well, maybe the question wasn't really for the weasel, but for anyone that might also understand what he's asking the weasel.
Pretty heavy there.
Yeah, it's like maybe it was really meant to be overheard by the hermit.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Growing animals that get worried.
Well, he couldn't make complex.
He just nods when you ask. He just kind of nods like humoring you. And once again he looks at Talissa and says again, "Why are you in Orlane?"
I
What
am here
business?
because I am here because I was driven from my home. I live in a place kind of similar to yours. I live in a forest area down south, but I was driven from there, and I've always been kind of a hermit myself. I just thought maybe I might find some things in common with you. Maybe you could show me around your land. Uh,
When you
it's
say I've always been
hard to find friends.
when you say I've always been a hermit like you, uh, he definitely finds he smiles at this. You could tell he was like he just finds it really amusing that you would phrase it that way. And then he says, well, at least you're honest, but that's not quite the answer that I was looking for. What brings you to Orlane? What are you doing? By who? nods. And what do you know about the strange occurrences going on in this peaceful farming? He kind of disdain kind of when he says peaceful farming community. There's a disdain to the way he says it. So when you bring up the troglodytes, you can see there's a his expression changes from just kind of he almost seemed bored or passive with you. But when you say troglodytes and you mentioned sneaking into the foaming mug, and his eyes kind of light up to that, and he asks you, "So you slay these beasts?"
Breaking up, Spence.
And the mayor, Zacharias, he sent you on this mission. He just nods, and the weasel is still working on his still working on the cheese, and he looks at Talissa and says, "You're a polite lass."
Well, thank you. I was I truly want to get to know you. Don't want to just accost you with questions. So I
Nobody
I
talks to Romney.
nobody talks to you ever. Does it ever get lonely?
He laughs. It doesn't get lonely. It's just I think the people here they fear me. You know, crazy old man living in a elm grove on the edge of town.
Yeah, they probably have the wrong impression of you, don't they?
Maybe. And there's like there's like a glimmer of humor in his eyes when he says maybe. What was that, Dwayne? You said what was you asked him what he laughs at that and says, "Let's see, how would he phrase this?" He just laughs. He just laughs at that. He doesn't even answer.
Do you find it funny that they are scared of you in town?
Very. I always find stupidity amusing.
Because there's nothing to really fear, is there, of you?
Oh, I would say that, and I would definitely say there is a lot to fear with the things as they are. A roll me a charisma in the tower. Hmm, okay. Romney knows much, but the answers aren't here today for me to tell you.
What do you,
Seek out those. This is what he says. Seek out those whose job it is to protect.
Oh.
Report back to me.
okay,
Mhm.
we will do that.
So the old man, you can tell he's kind of spry, man. He's got he's got a sense of humor, and he definitely doesn't seem like a weak, frail, old hermit archetype. He's got humor. He's got the humor and of the of youth.
Hmm.
He does. His weasel is very obedient. He just finished that cheese, by the way,
Mm.
and he's looking at you.
Look for more.
So Romney, when he sees your kindness to the animal, like he smiles, kind of a sideways smile, but he smiles. He just he doesn't say anything to you, and his eyes just watch yours as you're going, like he's sizing you up.
Thank you, Romney. We will return.
He looks at Talissa and he slowly nods. You almost think he's not going to react at all, but he gives you a small little nod. Again, his eyes not leaving either of you, and he slowly shuts the door.
Okay. Okay, we go back to the group.
Yeah. Boy, that took forever. I was about to lose my voice with all that singing.
That's right. He was on the
Oh,
B
speaking
side.
of that, can you get a Constitution check, Farlight?
All right, here we go. Constitution. Well, not too bad.
So, from all the singing, you actually do have a sore throat right now.
Well, sure, it'll come back. The day is young. You know. Can I Loman, could you
Yeah.
cut me another little slice of that cheese?
Well,
Yeah.
there's milk too. Milk is supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
Will
There
milk
you go.
help with the
Yeah, there we
sore?
go.
Is
Yeah.
Give you
cheese and milk
phlegm.
good for a sore throat?
Well, it's definitely going
Yeah.
to give you
Definitely so.
phlegm, but
Yep. So yeah, I'll take some of the milk. Sure.
going to advance this because you walking down towards the hut, and then that whole conversation, I would say about 45 minutes went by. Let's see.
So at least we're on
Yeah, I
good
started running out
rapport
of songs.
with
Mhm.
the hermit, and we can and he basically asked us to come back and report about the constable. So I think
The vibe that you got, and again, I probably because I'm a little bit overtired today, but and not doing as good of a job at role playing him, but the vibe that you got is that the man is clever. He's a wily old man, and he's got a little bit of sense of humor, and there's a little bit of a badass in him. That's the vibe you got, that he was kind of sizing you up a little bit.
Good
They
storekeeper.
assume So Zacharias and a few other people in town have always assumed that the man is either a sorcerer or an ex-adventurer or something to do with the arcane arts.
That's right. It was our dairy farmers that actually suggested. I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You make your way over the footbridge and you see that the miller is out and on his property, and the water wheel is turning quite nicely. And you make your way, you immediately smell the cows when you're coming up right here. Again, the golden grain, there's a few horses out front. No signs of life, no lights on, or at least none that you can see, and nobody out on the porch of the golden grain. You come across a building, and I'll post this again. This is the nondescript wooden, square wooden building. Heavy shutters closed over the windows. The door looks like stout, but it's open, and there's no people visible. There's nobody standing outside. And behind this building is another long, low structure.
So that's the one where we're at is the front, and this is the one behind. Then
Correct. That's
Okay.
the long, low structure. The
Okay.
long, low structure, and then this is the. You're assuming the constables.
front
Oh, and
office.
and to the west of this, I should add, since you're over here right now, looking to your west right here, this looks like just a little farmhouse. They have a barn in the back. Tiny farmhouse right here.
Mm.
Yeah, it's well kept. There's chickens and ducks and geese walking around in the front yard, and there's a girl. You'd say she's probably in her teens. She's feeding the ducks in the front. She looks at you inquisitively, almost fearfully, when she sees the party come around the corner.
Yep.
So it takes her a minute. There's a pause, but she waves back kind of hesitantly.
I give her a scornful look.
When you
kidding.
do that, when
I'm
you do
kidding.
that, no, you said it. You already said it. When you do that, she looks kind of terrified. She puts her hand down all quick, and puts her head down and looks at the farm animals and kind of scuttles around the corner and not running, but like scuttle, like kind of a scuttle. She kind of scuttles.
Crouch. Oh, I love it.
So you guys are
Says the
seeing,
peeping Tom.
Yeah, right.
You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. So you can also see there's behind or down here to the south. You can also see that there's a lot of cultivated farms right here. You don't see any vineyards, but you see some cornfields.
I
No.
would love to.
Oh God. Get the bail money
We'll,
ready.
we'll be silent and smoldering in the background, like behind you with our
Smoldering.
yep. Hands
So
like
who's all
on the hilts of our weapons. Yeah.
So
you go,
who's
you go
going in?
first.
Apparently, Airlock
Airlock.
is.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll just,
What do
We don't wanna- we don't- we don't wanna get shot.
them? They don't have guns.
why have they not solved this mystery? We should just confront them. Like, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Oh wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're from the bigger town, right? Didn't we come from the bigger town?
Pochooch.
I didn't come from a bigger town.
No, he's from the Airwalk's from the dim
No, right.
forest.
But I'm saying
The rest of the party is
so-
from Hochooch. Yep, Hochooch.
that might be an angle we can use where we're trying to make sure this town is safe from maybe some expansion or something like that, and just kind of get their take on it. More of a we're trying to figure out the town. Hey, what do you find? What do you know about the town? And what kind of issues? Is it safe?
Could
So
literally,
you guys don't want bad cop.
well,
How much money we got for bail money in case something happens here?
I mean, another way to approach it. Yeah, and we could be honest about being, hey, we're working for the mayor because he says you guys
Yeah.
don't know what's going on here. What do you have to say about that? Right? Kind of a
I don't know.
You
Yes.
don't.
I think we
things
need
over
yeah,
here.
I think we need to get them talking, rather than just tell because we already know they're bad, right?
They
Well,
know we're here.
like, right?
That's the general notion.
Unless they don't trust the mayor and they're just not telling it what they actually do know. But I think that seems, Like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're definitely a preponderance of the evidence, but not beyond the shadow of a doubt. But we're, yeah, yeah.
First thing you see
Yeah.
is kind of a rotund, looks out of shape, mustache, greasy black hair. Uh, he's got a he's got a belt and sheathed. Looks like a short sword, and he's sitting in a chair with his feet up on a table. And yeah, well, hold on. There's two other people that you see too. There's one is in the back of the room, and he looks like he's pouring himself a drink. And then there's somebody else
At
sitting at the
8:35.
table. Yeah, there's somebody else sitting at the table with him, and all three of them, when you walk in, lock eyes.
Did we all walk in or just Loman? What's going on here?
Loman
I'll
walked
walk
in.
in.
I
Loman.
was told not to go
Walking in.
Okay, get it straight, guys. What?
You for
Who's
you
Yeah,
just
telling?
I actually said it, but I don't think you heard. It's like I'll walk in right behind. I'll walk in
Okay,
behind them. Yep,
Sounds good.
I know.
Okay.
this guy
Fun,
gives
fun
you a.
follows wherever Loman goes. So
So he gives you the guy that has his feet up on the table. He gives you a grin, and he doesn't hop to his feet immediately, but he takes his sweet ass time putting his feet down off the table, and he gets up and kind of pulls up his belt. His considerable belly kind of hanging over, and he walks out with his arm outstretched, and he's like, "Name's Grover Ruskadell. I'm the constable of this beautiful town, this little slice of paradise." And the other two men, they remain silent when he says this. Yes. So yeah.
okay, I'm
When you say that well, first of all, when he's shaking your hand, he shakes it like vigorously. This is like he grabs it with both hands and shakes your. Well met, well met. And when you query him about what's been going on and where you were set, he rolls his eyes and he says, "Ah, reports of there being trouble here are greatly exaggerated. You know how these peasants are in farmlands, always making up stories and tall tales. Oh, well, well, I don't see how you could breed that out of 20 generations of farm folk. You know how they are, making up tales. I mean, sure, every village has its problems, but here in Orlane, we take care of our own, and things will work themselves out."
you know, yeah, sir. That does fit my image of farm people very well. But so how do you explain the drop in production?
Well, one ghost story gets told, and people flee for the hills. It happens. Sure, we've had a share of missing people, but every town's got their share of missing people. I mean, we live near the Rushmores and the Dim. It's it's no wonder that even more haven't gone missing. Well, we live next to the Dim Forest. Any one of the denizens in there could be responsible for snagging up a farmer or two. Or how about that stinking putrid marshland down to the south?
So what have you discovered in your investigations? Have you investigated any of these
When
disappearances? Is it
when he's
forest or marsh?
when he says that, the one of the guys kind of snickers in the back. One of the two men snickers in the back, and Grover kind of whips his head around really fast and stares at him, and the guy shuts up real quick. And then he says, he's like, I am the constable. It's my job to discover what's going on and to keep the peace. We don't need any of the help from outsiders, especially some city folk.
So should we return uh, to Hokuk and just let them know we're just going to have to find new markets? That we should expect this decline in production here because the farmers are just scared of ghosts.
So when you say that, he's like, all I can offer you is this. You do what you like, but stay out of trouble while you're in my town.
Do you have a lot of trouble?
Trouble seems to find you and you go poking your nose in other people's business.
Yeah, he's on to you.
Oh yeah, it's clear. So, but
And his
I
two
thought that
the
was
two
your
men
job.
in the back, when he says that, the one of them he's nodding. He's just nodding. The other
I
guy, he's
remember trying to see where I put the notes of. We had the names of the two. Yeah. Um, of the.
Derek.
I can give them to you if you took them. Yeah, correct. The one that got the sideways glance from the constable, that's Donovan. The two don't speak, but the other guy says he's from Hoke Hill. Grover says he's from Hoke Hill originally.
Yeah. So, any farmers in
Guys,
Hokio?
I wrote all this ahead of time and I forgot. So there you go. What's your business in Orlane? Oh, you know how these yokels are, superstitious, prone to exaggeration. With me being the constable, I'd be the first to know if there was any real trouble. We certainly don't need any help from the city. I did a pretty good job of role playing. like, I had wrote this ahead of time, so I think I covered those bases.
So,
Um,
we seriously are concerned about this decline in production. What would your recommendation be to try and fix this issue?
well, we'll take care of it. I got these able-bodied boys here you see behind me. We'll figure out what the problem is and sort it out. How long do you intend to stay in Orlane?
How long have you been investigating what's wrong here? Has it been over a year now?
He looks kind of pissed off when you say that. That definitely pissed him off. He
This
goes,
is an Arawak thing to say.
he says he's no, but it's
Would have been the first thing Airwalk said.
that's a reasonable that's a reasonable question, I would say. That's a reasonable question. I mean, this has been going on for more than a year. But yeah, he didn't like that. He took that as an insult, and he basically just reiterates that troublemakers. This is what he says: just keep your nose clean while in my town. Troublemakers have a habit of disappearing.
Oh my
There's a lot of places to get lost out here. With the marsh to the south and the dim to the north, I'd watch your step.
That's
That's what he
fascinating. So
says.
you got some records then of who all's disappeared. Can we examine your records?
oh
Sorry.
boy.
Sorry.
Right. So
No,
how many disappearances have there been? That's terrible. You have these disappearances.
we have
It's,
the
I no wonder
situation.
the farmers are scared.
We have the situation under control. Well, maybe a stray creature wanders up from the swamp once in a while. It happens. the people that founded this farming community, they had to fight off hordes of those foul creatures to carve out this land. It's no surprise that we might get a stray one from the swamps every now and again. He
Discovered
again, when you say this, he looks back at the two other guys and they just kind of, everybody just acts and plays dumb.
Did you investigate it?
It's just a fire in the night. Someone probably left stove let the fire overburn.
And what are the proprietors? Where are they?
I always assume they burn up in the fire, right, boys? Right, right.
And did you find their corpses?
Well, fire burns hot, can even burn up bones.
It's clearly wasn't that kind of a fire. The structure still stands, and there are no corpses of humans inside. Yep. Yeah. Let's.
I
Yeah.
grow
As a
tired
matter
of
of
your
fact, we have a.
questions. I
Yeah.
grow tired of your questions, Elf. We have things well under control, and as I said before, we don't need any help from the city. Who's
You
doing?
should.
I've heard my name called. Is that right?
Yeah. It's like
And I'm gonna come in
Oh my
Uh
god.
oh.
and I'm gonna look at them.
say, Arrowhead. What did you discover in the remnants of the foaming mug?
The blazing, bla- the
He
blazing
wasn't there.
inferno that didn't burn down the
Yeah,
building.
that's
that
right. He
was
wasn't
out.
there.
So
No burnt building.
the burned building that burned so hot, the blazing inferno that burned so hot that it burned up bones, even though the structure is like still like 90% intact.
There were no bones in there.
Yeah. And
Why aren't you doing your job?
I don't think I like your tone, Elf.
I
Do I
definitely
need to?
don't like your tone.
Do I need? Is that what Lone says?
yeah, that's a friendly
Well, I would hate to meet him when he's being a scoundrel.
Yeah, or in a fight with
My
troglodytes.
friends tracked 3 troglodytes from here that almost took my life. Explain that.
Where did these troglodytes attack you? On the road? What does that have to do with Orlane, Elf?
There are 3 dead troglodytes in the basement of the foaming mug right now. Have you discovered their corpses yet, or is it too early in the morning for you to get out and do
he
yourself?
there's his face turns a little bit red when you say that, and he's like, "Well, we thank you for your service. We'll take care of it, right? Right, Donovan? Right, Hubar? Well, get on over to the foaming mug and make sure to take a report."
Well, I hope this goes through. Yeah, it did.
What? That's true. Okay.
And I looked at Garrick. Garrick's in there, right?
Yes, he's in there.
I looked at Garrick and go,
Yeah.
these boys don't look like they do much work.
No.
Can he hear
No.
you?
Commenting on their
I
figure.
posted a picture of Ruskin.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Rover Ruskin up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it, dude. I should have changed his name to Buford.
For genius.
Would you
Yeah.
you might need a break before you get there? It is a pretty far journey.
This really, yeah, that gets him. So first, when you say, yeah, so the first dig, he gets all huffed up, and the second one, he's like, get out, the lot of you city folk.
I'll believe.
I look at him confused. I guess I'm supposed to stay here. I looked at Garrick and like, yeah, you city folk leave.
I guess they're like staying.
and Arawak stays.
I'm like,
He looks
Well,
both
he's
flustered.
the
the
He
city
look,
folk.
so when all the city folk vacate the building and Arawak stays, he looks like be flustered and embarrassed, and he's like, "You too, elf, out, out."
You're rude.
Oh, that worked.
Walk out.
Good. So you want
Man, you guys did a lot of investigating tonight, man.
What time is it?
It's time to stop. I'm getting tired. You guys want
Oh
to
shit.
mind if I pause
No.
it? Mind if I pause it here?
No,
it's
it's perfectly fine.
Next time I'll take better care of myself so I'm mentally sharp. But yeah.
So we
No,
figured out if you really want to piss people off, bring Airwalk in.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I don't really
perfect.
blame Arawak at all. I think if I would have saw that fat fuck sitting on the chair when all this stuff's going on, I would have been kind of annoyed myself too. So
the minute you
Seriously.
said greasy mustache, I was thinking that's yes, Buford T. Justice.
Yeah.
I
Buford
honestly,
P.
the,
Justice.
the greasy mustache, I honestly just came up off the top of my, because I didn't know how he looked, and I'm like, you know what, this guy's gonna be fat, out of shape.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just like yeah,
Like
Buford, that's
mostly
perfect.
balding with a comb over, right? With just like a few
Comb
strands.
over,
Yeah,
few
really.
strands with a comb over, but younger, like not like a younger Buford T. Justice, but with the total
Yeah.
balding already, and yeah, like just young Buford T. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I will reward. There's some definite roleplay XP for that, so I'll get that up here, and
Good
that was
job, all.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
Enjoyable game, everyone.
Sorry there was
Thank
no
you.
combat, but I can't force combat into.
Nope.
Oh, there was mental
hey.
combat.
Yeah, you don't see us running
Definitely.
straight for the golden grain or places that are likely to,
No, there's plenty.
trying to get our story straight. Yeah.
I mean, there's literally, you guys probably hit about 5% of it, so
Yeah.
there's plenty.
I mean,
All
Oh,
right,
yeah. Well,
guys. Well,
we're
I
gonna-
hope you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Super fun.
All right,
Yeah.
well, let's stay in touch on Discord.
Awesome.
All right, well, I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
Night.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everybody.